or need to rely upon some help from the Orioles against the New York Yankees. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm Ben Schulman alongside former Major League pitcher Chris LaRue. Show Ali is our host. Nick Blackmore is our producer. Tom Young and Christian Chiniti are our technical directors. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Windsor Center and Windsor North. Crown is proud to be Canadian-owned and operated since 1986, so protect your vehicle from rust today at your local Crown Rust Control Center or visit crown.com. Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Kevin Gausman gets the ball for the Blue Jays against Ian Seymour for the Rays. And again, it's simple. Blue Jays win today. They win the American League East for the first time since 2015. We'll have lineup standings and first pitch on the other side. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Capital One, we're more than just a credit card company. We're people just like you who believe in the power of yes. Yes to new opportunities. Yes to second chances. Yes to a fresh start. That's why we've helped over 4 million Canadians get access to a credit card. Because at Capital One, we say yes, so you don't have to hear another no. What will you do with your yes? Get the yes you've been waiting for at CapitalOne.ca/yes. Terms and conditions apply.
If you've got outdoor chores or jobs coming up, the first thing on your to-do list should be to identify all overhead power lines. Power lines are a leading cause of electrical death in Ontario. To stay safe and alive, always keep yourself and your equipment at least 3 meters away from overhead power lines. You don't have to touch a power line to receive a deadly shock. No outdoor work is worth dying for. A message from the Electrical Safety Authority. Learn more at esasafe.com/stop, look, live.
Wake me up when we make the playoffs.
Wake up, Canada. We made it.
At Endy, we know greatness starts with a great rest. That's the beauty of sleep. It fuels focus and sharpens performance. It's how Endy helps all Canadians rise to shine. Endy mattresses are proudly made in Canada. And right now, take $150 off for a limited time. Shop now at Endy.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Your home for the biggest stories in the league is SiriusXM NFL Radio.
This is Rich Gannon from the SiriusXM Blitz. Week 4 is here, and we have a matchup of MVP quarterbacks when the Ravens and Lamar Jackson take on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And Micah Parsons makes his return to Dallas as a member of the Green Bay Packers.
Micah Parsons registers the sack.
Those top stories and more right here.
SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the SiriusXM app.
Hey everyone, it's Justin Turbin at your 24/7 home for hoops all year long is SiriusXM NBA Radio Channel 86 and the SiriusXM app. Just search NBA Radio.
Radio Network.
The pitch is hit on the ground, down the left field line, base hit. Barger in to score from third. Schneider around second. He's at third, getting away from Carlos Fabulous. Relay to the plate, cut off. David Schneider dives in head first. 2-0 Blue Jays on an Ernie Clement RBI double in the second. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 5 scoreless from Trey Yesavage. 4-1, the Blue Jays leading the Rays. New pitcher Garrett Clevenger to Alejandro Kirk, who crushes it to left field and gone. First pitch missile for Alejandro Kirk, and the Blue Jays lead it 5-1 in the bottom of the 7th. Another 3-2. Hit sharply up the middle, backhanded IKF, stops, throws to first, and the Blue Jays win. 5-1 the final score. They will head into game 162 with a lead in the American League East. With their backs against the wall, the Blue Jays have won 3 straight games to keep the American League East into the final day of the regular season. It's game 162 from downtown Toronto, the Blue Jays and Rays, and it's simple. If the Blue Jays win, they win the American League East. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Appreciate you tuning in, and Chris, this is what the Blue Jays have grinded for over the last 3 days, the opportunity to give the ball to Kevin Gausman and try and take home the division.
Yeah, it's all set up perfectly for the Toronto Blue Jays. They have their best starter on the mound, and it seems like the offense is starting to do what they've done for the majority of this season, come through in big situations, put together pretty good at-bats. We've seen really solid ABs outside of a couple of guys so far in the last 3 or 4 games, and that's been impressive. If the Blue Jays want to make a run in the playoffs, that's what they'll have to do. That's their brand of baseball. It's good to see. I'm excited to see Kevin Gausman pitch today.
You likely know the standings already if you're tuning into this game, but let's take a look at them anyway. The Bet365 standings. At Bet365, you can bet on popular markets like hits, home runs, and total bases. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Blue Jays and Yankees both 93 and 68. Blue Jays have the lead in the AL East right now with the tiebreaker. Boston 5 back, 88 and 73. Rays eliminated from playoff contention, 77 and 84, as are the Orioles, who are 75 and 86. In royal blue jerseys, white pants, and the throwback caps, the Blue Jays on the field, Kevin Gausman on the hill, and we go to the starting lineup. Brought to you by Shell V-Power Nitro Plus. Want more from your vehicle? Try Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. Fueling every drive with a fuel like no other, starting with Kevin Cash's Tampa Bay Rays.
Leading off for the Rays is Richie Palacios. He's in left field. At third base, batting second is Junior Caminero. Batting third is Jonathan Aranda. He'll be DHing this afternoon. In right field in the cleanup spot is Josh Lowe. Batting fifth is Jake Mangum. He's in center field. Behind the dish, batting sixth is Hunter Fiducia. Batting seventh is Tristan Gray. He's at second base. At shortstop, batting eighth is Carson Williams. And batting ninth at first base is Bob Seymour. On the mound is lefty Ian Seymour. Leading off for the Toronto Blue Jays is George Springer. He's DHing. At second base, batting second is Davis Schneider. Batting third is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He'll be at first base. In right field, batting fourth is Anthony Santander. Batting fifth is Dalton Varsho. He's in center field. Behind the dish is Alejandro Kirk. He'll bat sixth. Batting seventh is Addison Barger. He's at third base. Batting eighth is Ernie Clement. He's at shortstop. And in left field, batting ninth is Miles Straw. On the mound is righty Kevin Gausman.
Kevin Gausman making his 32nd start of the season, 10-11 with a 3.47 ERA. 34-year-old is 6'2" from Colorado. Four-seamer, splitter, and slider for him. His last start, not his best, 5 2/3. He gave up 9 hits and 4 runs to Boston while punching out 7. But all in all, since about late June, he has been the most consistent, most dominant starter in the Blue Jay rotation. Mention the Blue Jays in royal blue jerseys, white pants, the Rays in navy and gray pants, and the crowd getting loud. 161 games has not decided the division. We will know who wins the AL East in a couple hours. Kevin Gausman kicks and deals home, and Richie Palacios swings and fouls it back, 0-1. Time of the first pitch today, 3:08 Eastern, 25 degrees and sunny in downtown Toronto. Everyone in baseball getting started either a couple minutes ago or a couple minutes from now on the final day of the season. Right on left, the 0-1. Palacios sprays it foul into the seats, and Kevin Gausman, always known to fill up the zone, is quickly ahead 0-2.
There's a lot of lefties in this lineup. Just 2 guys are going to be swinging from the right side of the plate, but that's interesting for Kevin Gausman, who's right-handed. Against left-handed hitters this season, they're hitting just 183.
Yeah, he's actually been better against the left-handed hitters than the right-handed hitters this year. He kicks and offers an 0-2. Line drive left field, charging forward. Straw pulls up, takes it on a bounce, and Richie Palacios has a leadoff single.
That's a smart play for Miles Straw out there. He probably could have tried and dove for that baseball. Maybe he would have made the play, but you want to be safe here, especially in the first inning. Keep that guy at first base, potentially get a double play here.
Straw in part in the lineup because Kevin Gausman generates a lot of fly balls and balls to the outfield. Also, though, a lefty starter for the Rays as well. Junior Caminero to the plate for Tampa Bay. Runner on first, no outs. Gausman looking in, kicks and offers. Called strike. A lot of discussion online about the Rays lineup. We may as well get into it. It's game 162 for a team playing out the string. Personally, I wasn't that shocked to see some key contributors out, but it's created some buzz. Caminero remains in, chasing the Rays franchise home run record. 0-1. Swing and a miss. But worth noting, no Yandy Diaz. He was removed mid-game yesterday after reaching 300. Per Mark Topkin of the Tampa Bay Times, that was a group decision to rest Diaz the rest of the year. You got no Brandon Lau in the lineup. Again, per Mark Topkin, Lau was given the option before the series to pick a day off. He chose this game before the series, so he actually didn't know the significance. And then no Chandler Simpson as well. Palacios on first, the 0-2. Runner takes off, pitches low a ball, throw to second, and the call is safe. But I imagine the Blue Jays will take a look. That was a seed from Alejandro Kirk on the money to the second baseman, Schneider. John Schneider looking back to DeMarlo Hale. And
TC, no challenge. You can go ahead and reset. Thank you.
Pretty good throw coming in, but a stolen base for Palacios, his 4th of the year and his 17th big league game of the season. He's on second, and the 1-2 to Caminero. Fouled off the leg of Kirk. It pinballs toward the third base dugout.
That's a good sign, though, to see Alejandro Kirk make a good throw down to second base. We've seen him struggle just a little bit here in September with those throws down to second. That was a bullet.
Gausman staring at second. Comes home with a 1-2. In the dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gausman pitched in Tampa Bay in the series there about a week and a half ago. On the 17th, he went 6 innings, allowed 1 run. His 2-2 to the Rays third baseman, Caminero. On the ground up the middle, gloved by Davis Schneider. He'll gather, throw on to first as Palacios takes off for third. 1 out, but the Rays have a runner on third base now, and a fly ball could bring him in.
That's an important out in this game. Junior Caminero is by far the most powerful hitter in that Rays lineup. It's nice to get him on the ground. Davis Schneider with a nice play up the middle for the first out of the inning.
Early in this all-important game, 162, the infield is in for the Blue Jays. No score, top of the first. 1 out, Palacios on third, and Aranda, Jonathan Aranda at the plate. Gausman deals. Pitch hit foul, 0-1. This first inning is brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Bring nature to your backyard with Armstrong, feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com. Aranda playing in his 106th game, a .315 hitter this year. Homers in each of the last 2 games. 0-1. Lined up the middle and threw into center, a base hit. Coming home to score is Richie Palacios, and the Rays strike in the top of the first to take a 1-0 lead over the Blue Jays.
Actually, a pretty good piece of hitting. A little bit of a hanging split finger. When you have the infield in, when you have a run on third base, you probably want to expand more with 1 strike on Jonathan Aranda. But again, Jonathan Aranda has been a really good hitter. That split finger ended up off the plate outside. Just does a good job finding a way to get it up the middle.
So the Rays strike first. First time they've done that in this series, and Josh Lowe is up. First pitch called a strike, 0-1. One nothing Tampa Bay. Aranda on first, 1 out. Lowe, another left-handed hitter in this lineup. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Good splitter, landed on the corner. Early whiff from Lowe, 0-2.
That's more of the action that you want. That's that violent downward action that you get when you stay on top of that pitch. Hopefully he's found that release point.
Gausman's 2-strike offering. Down and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lowe, a .222 hitter, 6'4", lefty swinger who plays right field. 1-2. On the ground to first. Vladdy, glove, steps on first for 1, throws to second. Tag applied on Aranda by Clement. And that's a 3-6 double play to end the top of the first. Rays strike for a run on 2 hits. Aranda drives in Palacios. 1-0 Tampa Bay. Middle of the first. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
How do we craft tires specifically designed for Canadian weather conditions? We journey alongside them and endure the unexpected challenges the road throws at them. Winter is approaching quickly. Are you prepared? Choose Yokohama. Tailored precisely for Canadian weather, snow, ice, and cold can turn every drive into a challenge. Stay safe with the Yokohama Fall Rebate. Until November 30th, receive up to $100 back when you purchase 4 eligible Yokohama tires. Stay in control and drive with confidence. Choose Yokohama. Made precisely for you.
Protect your waste and recycling equipment from costly repairs. With a custom maintenance plan, optimize your waste system performance and longevity with Metro Compactor Service. They've got you covered coast to coast with the largest service fleet in Canada. Their innovative iSmart technology can remotely diagnose, troubleshoot, and monitor equipment health in real time. For on-demand or proactive service, sales, rentals, and extended warranties for all your waste equipment, visit metrocompactor.com. metrocompactor.com.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise, Mary. At Bet365, must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
The first pitch to Barger is tanked out to right field and way out of here.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to downtown Toronto. 1-0 Rays. Bottom of the first inning. Ian Seymour, the lefty, looking in at George Springer. The kick and the pitch. High and outside. Ball 1. We welcome you to the Timbermart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Game 162 of the Blue Jays season win, and they win the AL East. 1-0. Outside 2-0. You'll have to forgive me. I'll mention that fact about 300 times today, and also we will be constantly checking over at Orioles Yankees. 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Springer with a big whiff on a middle cutter as he was looking to tie it at 1. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. For Seymour, the lefty, 5th career start, 19th appearance, 2-1. High ball 3. Left-hander is 4-2 with a 2.85 ERA. He's bounced in and out of the rotation and bullpen recently. He shoved against the Blue Jays, though, about 2 weeks ago. His 3-1. Called strike on the outside edge, says crew chief Dan Bellino.
He works really quickly.
Old-fashioned motion, steps straight back before turning toward home. The 3-2. Line fouled. Springer going after a changeup middle in. It smoked it, but was out in front. Slammed it into the netting down the left field line. Seymour waiting for Springer again. His 7th pitch. Broken bat bouncer foul. George will take a slow walk back to the third base dugout.
Ian Seymour's very good at pitching to right-handed hitters because he loves to pitch inside. He throws that cutter inside. He throws that fastball inside. Then he'll mix in that changeup away, and he did exactly that to George Springer, shattering his bat as George walks slowly back to that dugout to get a new one.
He's really working in that hallway. He starts on the third base side of the rubber, so he can just throw straight forward, and it's going to be on the inner half. He sets up again, and here's his 8th offering to George Springer. Outside, ball 4. Good start for Springer and the Blue Jays offensively. A leadoff walk with the Blue Jays trailing 1-0, bottom of the first.
They were actually trying to come inside with that cutter, but he missed well off the plate. You have to imagine that heart rate of Ian Seymour is elevated. Obviously, he knows what's at stake. He hasn't had that much time in the big leagues. This is a great time for him to pitch well.
George Springer on first. Davis Schneider at the plate. The pitch. Down and in, ball 1. Mentioned Dan Bellino's the home plate ump. Clint Vondrak at first, Tony Randazzo at second, and Phil Cuzzy at third. It's 1-0 Rays, no outs, bottom of the first inning. (1-0) to Schneider. Inside, ball 2. Should mention the out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill, 100% Canadian owned and operated since 1992. Home of the $4 happy hour, 20+ food and drink items starting at just $4. Visit stlouiswings.com for details. You are welcome. We go over to the Bronx in a moment, but first the 2-0. Called strike on the inside edge. Scoring starting early in the Orioles-Yankees game as well. Ben Rice has gone deep for the Yankees in the first. New York is up on Baltimore 1-0. Blue Jays could clinch the division today either by a win or a Yankees loss. If the Blue Jays lose and the Yankees win, New York takes the AL East. 2-1 count on Davis Schneider. Springer on first. Seymour kicks and offers. Swing and a miss. Slight chase. That pitch might have been a bit high, but well located on the inside edge. 2-2. Springer takes his lead. Seymour looking at him. 2-2. In the dirt, ball 3. Still scattered here early on, and Ian Seymour has used 13 pitches to 2 batters. Kevin Gausman threw 15 total in a first where he gave up a run.
Yeah, he did not look like this in his last start against the Blue Jays. He was locked in.
7 balls, 6 strikes early on for Seymour. His 3-2. Down and in, ball 4. Back-to-back walks, and the Blue Jays have 2 on with nobody out.
He looks like a completely different guy out there. Like I said, that heart rate has got to be elevated, pitching in just his 19th major league game as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. slowly walks to that plate, bobbing his head.
Hunter Fiducia, the catcher, out to the mound to talk to Seymour right now. John Schneider mentioned Seymour as a unique pitcher. It's not really his stuff, and this is my words now, not Schneider's. Not really his stuff that overwhelms you. He's deceptive, and it's location. If his location is off, it could be a tough day for the rookie. First and second, nobody out. 1-0 Rays. We're in the bottom of the first. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is up, trying to snap out of a funk. Homerless in 20 games. Seymour looks at second and the pitch. Vlad takes it inside, ball 1.
That's how Ian Seymour pitched him last game. Busting him in with fastballs and cutters.
One-0 pitch. Called strike, 91 on the inside edge.
Seems like that's still the game plan.
Most of Seymour's pitches out of his 6-pitch mix work better on the inner half. The 1-1. Lifted foul right side out of play, 1-2. For Seymour, his changeup, which he throws a ton, will break away from righties, but his four-seamer, he works into them primarily. Cutter breaks into a righty, so does the sweeper. He will use the sinker to throw something that moves away from a right-handed hitter as well. Springer on second, Schneider on first, no outs. And the 1-2. In the dirt, blocked by Fiducia. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Seymour approaching 20 pitches without an out in this first.
And that was a great take from Vlad. Tried to double up with the changeup. I'm sure they'll come hard in, either with the cutter or the fastball. You don't want to triple up with the changeup.
Lefty set at his chest, looks at Springer, the 2-2. Vladdy lines it down in right center field, a base hit. Springer getting the wave around third. Low throws into third, and Guerrero has tied the game at 1 with a first inning RBI single.
How about that? Vladimir Guerrero Jr. coming through in a big spot. And that's exactly what they tried to do. They busted him in with the cutter, actually ate up Vlad, but Vlad was able to muscle that thing into right field just over the outstretched glove of second baseman Tristan Gray. What a moment for him.
You were all over it. So was Vlad. He almost pulled out his Bo Bichette swing to get inside that fastball and flip it the other way. After Hunter Fiducia has already visited Ian Seymour, we're going to have Kyle Snyder go out to the mound and talk to Ian Seymour, the Rays pitching coach. Vlad still calming himself down at first. About 25 claps as he got around the back. He's been waiting a while for a hit like that.
Yeah, and he didn't hit it all that hard. It was just a very good approach. It was a tough pitch. I'm not sure if it was on the plate or not, if he took that pitch, if it would have been a strike, but such a good approach, trying to go the other way, trying to fight it off and score that run from second base, and that's exactly what he did.
RBI 84 on the year for Guerrero. Still, first and second, nobody out. 1-1 game, bottom of the first. Anthony Santander, the switch hitter, comes up, batting from the right side. Rookie Seymour looking in. Schneider on second, Guerrero on first. Seymour sets, and his 20th pitch of the inning. Called strike on the corner with a good cutter. 0-1. Fourth start for Santander since returning from the injured list. Second time he starts against a lefty where he's hitting right. 0-1. High and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The kick and the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Big hack there from Santander. Expanded a little on an elevated cutter. It's 1-2.
And that's exactly where they wanted that pitch. They want to go just above that strike zone, make it look enticing.
Seymour's 1-2. High and outside with a 4-seamer. He and Seymour did not allow an earned run against the Blue Jays in his last start in 7 innings. Blue Jays have already tacked an earned run on him in this first inning after 2 walks and then an RBI single from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 1-1 score. Bottom of the first, no outs. Schneider on second. Guerrero with a hefty lead off first. No hold from Bob Seymour, who plays way off the line. 2-2. Sliced foul into the seats. And this is Blue Jay baseball this year. 24 pitches for Ian Seymour in the first, and he doesn't even have an out yet.
And Anthony Santander having another good at-bat. Doesn't really have much to show for it so far since coming off the IL, but he's had pretty good at-bats.
The kick and the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Pulled the string with a change down the middle. Santander out in front. 1 out.
That's a great pitch. Looked exactly like the fastball and then just dove below that swing of Anthony Santander. That's more like it from Ian Seymour.
Lefty starter finally gets his first out of the inning. Took him 25 pitches to do so. It's first and second, 1 out. 1-1 score. Blue Jays and Rays. Dalton Varsho up for Toronto. The pitch. High, ball 1. In terms of pitches in a plate appearance, 5 pitches is the least that Seymour has had so far, and that was on the at-bat against Vlad, where he gave up the RBI single. Lefty's 1-0. Line, right field, sinking, and down in front of Josh Lowe. Vlad had to wait. He'll go to second. Same with Schneider going into third. Single for Dalton Varsho, and the bases are loaded with only 1 out.
Yeah, with 1 out, if you're a base runner, you want to make sure that that ball drops in front of right fielder Josh Lowe. So obviously Davis Schneider had to stick around second base. Same with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. But now the Blue Jays have bases loaded with just 1 out in this inning.
It's another hit off a lefty for Dalton Varsho. And now Alejandro Kirk steps up to the plate. Brief discussion with Dan Bellino. I think there might be an issue with some of the footing in the batter's box. Bellino stomping on the dirt on the inside edge of the righty box. And now Kirk settles in. 1-1 game. 1 out, bases loaded, bottom of the first. Kirk hit a 432-foot nuke in yesterday's game. The pitch. High, ball 1. For a guy who's thrown 14 strikes and 14 balls in the first, this is a real tough spot for the rookie Seymour.
Yeah, you have to make him be in the strike zone if you're Alejandro Kirk.
1-0 pitch. Called strike, very borderline, might have clipped the inside edge. It's 1-1. I think if you're Kirk, no way you swing at that pitch.
Yeah, a little bit of help from home plate umpire Dan Bellino.
Next pitch for Seymour will be his 30th of the first inning. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 92, a hair above the zone. Kirk went after it with force. 1-2.
Now you have to shorten up and score that run from third base. There's a big hole on the right side of the infield. We've seen Kirk shoot that hole quite a bit this year.
Schneider on third, Vladdy on second, Varsho on first. The 1-2. High and outside. Fiducia stabbed up to his right. The Rays catcher just saved a run. 2 balls, 2 strikes. At a minimum, you'd love to hit something in the air. Schneider with decent speed could tag at third. 2-2. Sprayed in the air, foul, right side. Kirk going after a high cutter. They'll do it again. Already guys moving around a little in the Rays pen in right field. Bottom of the first, the 2-2. Fouled off again. Kirk might have broke his bat, inspects the barrel. He has been part of an onslaught of foul-offs in this first inning from the Blue Jays, who have forced 33 pitches out of Ian Seymour. Still the bases loaded with one out. And another 2-2. Slam to left field. Going back, Palacios. Out of here! Alejandro Kirk with a grand slam, and the Blue Jays lead 5-1 in the first. Perhaps the biggest swing of Alejandro Kirk's life. And the Blue Jays score 5 in the first inning. Addison Barger up to the plate, and here's the pitch from Seymour. It's a called strike. Fans still on their feet.
All you're asking for in that situation with 2 strikes is put the ball in play and score that run from third base. He did much more than that, Ben.
He did. Next pitch. Outside, ball 1. Goosebumps, Chris.
You can't fake that. Or so I've heard.
1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2. The first career grand slam for Alejandro Kirk, who about 3 at-bats ago looked entirely lost and has homered yesterday and now again today. This one is 14th of the year. It's 5-1 Blue Jays in the bottom of the first. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And there are 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. Unbelievable.
But that's what happens when you put together good at-bats. You foul off tough pitches. Alejandro Kirk fouled off 2 very good pitches from Ian Seymour, and then he got his mistake. He got that spinning cutter over the heart of the plate, and he absolutely smoked it.
First pitch to Ernie Clement, called a strike 0-1. And that's team baseball. They forced 40 pitches out of this guy. He was going to make a mistake as Clement swings and misses. It's 0-2. And that's the Toronto Blue Jays in a nutshell. 2 outs, bases empty, bottom 1. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. After 40 pitches and 5 runs, Ian Seymour strikes out a third in the bottom of the first. Fans to their feet. 5-1 Blue Jays headed to the second. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hear every high note, every #1 hit on one channel.
I'm Mariah Carey. My music and my stories.
And tracks from her new...
What's up, baseball fans? Oh yeah, that's how you give your pitcher some backup right there. The Jays give up an early run in the top of the first and then bounce back. Alejandro Kirk with the grand slam. Absolutely amazing start for the Blue Jays. And we've got a bunch of people here in the chat. Mr. Roboto, Stefan the Burninator, Sonia Santos, Sheila, Angus, Carmen. Thank you all for hanging out with us here and cheering on our Blue Jays. Going for the AL East today. You see the Yankees are up 1-0 right now in the bottom of the second. They jumped up really quick there, and the Jays fell down. But it's okay. We got the grand slam. We're up 5-1. Now let's get back to the baseball. Hit that like button. Share this link out. Let's get more Jays fans in here, and let's go win that AL East crown. Go, Jays, go! Tom's up there screaming about the game. I love it.
Trip Roundup on MLB Network Radio every night on SiriusXM Channel 89 and every morning on the SiriusXM app.
Fantasy football players, from start-sit decisions to waiver wire advice. Win your fantasy football league with Fantasy Sports Radio, Channel 87, and on the SiriusXM app.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to downtown Toronto. Top of the second inning, the Blue Jays lead the Rays 5-1. Kevin Gausman with a first pitch strike on Jake Mangum. A reminder, if the Blue Jays win today, they take home their 7th AL East crown in franchise history. 5-run bottom of the first has set up Gausman nicely, and the 0-1 is hit on the ground up the middle. Backhanded Schneider. He'll sling it to first in time to get Jake Mangum. Little underhanded half sidearm throw from Davis Schneider, and there's one out.
And now that you're up by 4 runs, if you're Kevin Gausman, your job is to just fill up that strike zone and do what you do. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to nibble. You have to force early contact. That was a great at-bat there against Mangum.
1 out, and Hunter Fiducia to the plate. The kick and the pitch. High and outside, ball 1. Kevin Gausman has started a lot of big games in his career. Many of them as a Blue Jay, many before that as well. 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Whether it be his 2 postseason games as a Blue Jay or multiple starts in a postseason race or in the postseason with teams like the Giants, Braves, and Orioles, he is not shy for the big moment. 1-1 pitch. High and outside, 2-1. And probably good for the Blue Jays and Gausman as they woke up today. He had been preparing the whole week like he was going to start today, even though if they had clinched beforehand, he might not have had a real full start. His 2-1. Fouled back, and he evens it up at 2-2.
Ben, I have a quick question for you.
Go ahead.
Let's say, hypothetically, the score remains 5-1, and the Blue Jays go on to win this ball game. Where does that grand slam rank?
I'm going to wait till after
All
the
right.
game. There's way too many outs remaining. 2-2. Grounded foul. 1 out, top of the second. Bases empty. Kevin Gausman against Hunter Fiducia. In our post-game wrap-up, I'll be happy to answer that question. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First punch out of Gausman's start. 2 quick outs here in the top of the second.
That might have been the best split finger of the start so far. Stayed on top of that pitch, had lots of downward action. It's a good release point.
Gausman going right after these Rays. Now faces Tristan Gray with 2 outs and the bases empty, top of the second. Right-hander's pitch. Fastball down and in, ball 1. Gray, a left-handed hitting second baseman today. 30th major league game of the season. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Splitter's looking really sharp early on. It's 1-1. Infield back and shifted to the first base side, except for Barger in at third. 1-1. Downstairs, 2 balls and 1 strike. Blue Jays 5, Rays 1. Game 162, and we're in the top of the second. The 2-1 pitch. Called strike, 2-2.
How about that fastball? Perfectly located. There was a 4-seam fastball at 95, but it had a little bit of run to it. Started off the plate and ended on the inner third.
As Gray asking for time and stepping back into the lefty box. Now he's back in there, tapping home plate. Gausman's 2-2. Hit on a hop to first. Spinning stop by Vlad. He races to the back. Stumps on first. He got him. That's the top of the second inning done. Nice play over at first by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. We'll see if Kevin Cash wants to challenge. He will not. We go on to the bottom of the second. 5-1 Blue Jays. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
If you've got outdoor chores or jobs coming up, the first thing on your to-do list should be to identify all overhead power lines. Power lines are a leading cause of electrical death in Ontario. To stay safe and alive, always keep yourself and your equipment at least 3 meters away from overhead power lines. You don't have to touch a power line to receive a deadly shock. No outdoor work is worth dying for. A message from the Electrical Safety Authority. Learn more at esasafe.com/stop, look, live.
Your business runs 24/7, but what happens when your loading dock grinds to a halt? Get back in business fast with Bagley Overhead Doors and Docks. Your overhead door problem is our problem, and we're good at fixing problems. Repairing your overhead door, dock, or have truck restraints that require service? No problem. We also offer preventative maintenance inspections to eliminate the chaos and expense of unplanned emergencies. Bagley Overhead Doors and Docks, trusted for over 60 years. Visit BagleyOverheadDoors.com today.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Beat the rush. Protect your vehicle with Canada's #1 rust protection today. Find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
0-2 swing and a miss, strike 3.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Miles Straw leads it off for the Blue Jays. Bottom of the second inning in downtown Toronto, and Ian Seymour's first pitch is a strike. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. 5-1 Blue Jays in the 0-1 is taken again. Called strike 0-2. This second inning presented by Bet365. With Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and you can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19+, play responsibly. Ontario only. 0-2 hit foul. Still no balls and 2 strikes. Win the game today, and the Blue Jays win the AL East. If not, they'll have to rely on help. 0-2. Foul tip, strike 3. Held on to by Fiducia, and there's 1 out in the bottom of the second.
Ian Seymour looks like a completely different guy. That's more like it. That's the Ian Seymour that we saw last week in Tampa. Made a lot of good pitches right there to Miles Straw.
Blue Jays got 5 off of him in the first. It all started with walks, including 1 to George Springer. His first pitch to Springer is hit on the ground foul. 0-1. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, it's still 1-0 for the Yankees. That game in the top of the third in New York. And the next pitch outside to Springer, 1-1. However, if the Blue Jays win, it doesn't matter what the Yankees do. They can't pass them. Next pitch hit on the ground foul again, 1-2. Seymour winds, and his 1-2 is hit up the middle, a base hit into center field. On for the second time in the game is George Springer clapping back to the third base dugout.
And with 1 out in this inning and Davis Schneider at bat, I wouldn't be surprised if George Springer tries to take second base here. He has 17 stolen bases this season.
Only been caught once. That happened yesterday. We'll see how he feels about running on the lefty Seymour, who shrugs his shoulders and looks in at Davis Schneider. The kick and the pitch. Foul tip, strike 1.
Obviously a little bit more difficult with the lefty Seymour on the mound, but we've seen George Springer do it before.
A 1. Swing and a miss. Quick work there from the left-hander Seymour. He gets ahead of Schneider, 0-2. 5-1, the Blue Jays lead. 1 out. Springer on first, bottom of the second inning. Schneider a walk and a run scored in the first. He faces an 0-2 from Ian Seymour. High and outside, ball 1. Schneider looking down to third. Gets signals from Carlos Fablis. who claps does Fabulous and walks back toward third base. Schneider awaiting the 1-2. Seymour's pitch. High and outside, 2-2.
About to be another 5-pitch at bat.
Pretty much every at bat has been one. 4-5 pitches, driving Seymour already to 53 today. 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Seymour's 5 outs have all been via the strikeout, and there are 2 down in the bottom of the second. Tonight, you could be taking home one of the biggest jackpots in Major League Baseball history. It's already over $3.8 million. Tomorrow morning, Buck Martinez will call the winner. BlueJays.com/5050, Ontario or Nova Scotia. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. up 1-for-1 with an RBI single. The first pitch he sees is low ball 1. 5-1, the Blue Jays leading the Rays. Springer on first, 2 outs, bottom of the second. The 1-0. Lifted out to center, ranging back into his right, Mangum under it to make the catch and end the inning. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We go to the third with the Blue Jays up 5-1. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Timber Mart always has plans to help you with your plans. Your home, your cottage, your garage, whatever needs your attention first, check the most visited spot on our website for ready-to-order plans to get the job done with Canada's Building Centre. Visit timbermart.ca.
If you've got outdoor chores or jobs coming up, the first thing on your to-do list should be to identify all overhead power lines. Power lines are a leading cause of electrical death in Ontario. To stay safe and alive, always keep yourself and your equipment at least 3 meters away from overhead power lines. You don't have to touch a power line to receive a deadly shock. No outdoor work is worth dying for. A message from the Electrical Safety Authority. Learn more at esasafe.com/stop, look, live.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center. Your home team advantage with the right materials and the right price. Project know-how that's brought together a wealth of plans and solid advice. Trust your team at your locally owned Timber Mart. Find your location at timbermart.ca.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Another screaming flex from Hoffman.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
5-1 Blue Jays, top of the third in downtown Toronto. Kevin Gausman back on the hill for the Blue Jays. His pitch to Carson Williams, the Rays shortstop. Foul tip, strike 1. This third inning is brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Windsor Center and Windsor North. Crown is proud to be Canadian-owned and operated since 1986. So protect your vehicle from rust today at your local Crown Rust Control Center or visit crown.com. Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Next pitch outside and the count evens up. 1-1. Right on right, Gausman's pitch. Called strike. Splitter there on the outer third to freeze Williams and get ahead 1-2. Blue Jay win means winning the AL East. They're up 5-1 right now. Gausman's 1-2, and he got him. Swing and a miss, strike 3. There's 1 out in the top of the third.
Seems to be in cruise control right now. 32 pitches in the ball game for Kevin Gausman, 24 strikes. He's got a good feel for the fastball. He's got a good feel for that split finger.
Gave up the run in the first. Blue Jays bats helped him out with a 5 spot in the bottom half of the inning. And he has retired 5 in a row. His pitch to Bob Seymour. Big left-handed hitter takes low ball 1. Seymour, the 9-hitter and first baseman for the Rays in this final game of the year. 1-0 pitch. Called strike. Bit of a gift from Dan Bellino. Probably a hair outside. It's 1-1. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Appreciate you tuning in today or throughout the season. Final game of the regular season as the 1-1 misses high, 2-1. And who would have thought so much meaning behind this game after trying to decide who is the best in the division for 161 games. We have to go to 162 and maybe even to a tiebreaker after that. 2-1. Outside and high, ball 3.
Bob Seymour doesn't have a ton of big league success, but he has hit 58 home runs over the last couple of years in the minor leagues. He's got a ton of pop.
30 homers in 105 games at AAA for the left-handed hitter this year. Gausman behind him, the 3-1. Outside, ball 4. Stayed away from him the whole time, and that's a 5-pitch walk to the 9-hitter with 1 out. We welcome you to the Timbermark broadcast booth today. Get Air Miles reward miles on your next home improvement buys at Timbermark. Plus, take advantage of buy now, pay later financing options with your Timbermark project card. Start your project today. For details, visit Timbermark, Canada's building center. In addition to Chris and myself, Show Ali, our host, Nick Blackmore, our producer, Tom Young, Christian Chiniti, our technical directors, and a first pitch strike to Richie Palacios. One out, runner on first, top of the 3rd. Gausman's 0-1. Called inside, probably had the corner. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Kevin Gausman was actually asking home plate umpire Dan Bellino where that pitch was. That was a great pitch, a pitcher's pitch. Definitely caught the inside part of that strike zone.
The kick in the 1-1 in the dirt, stopped by Kirk. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Seems like Palacios is pretty comfortable in the batter's box. Had that single in the first inning. He's working the count pretty deep here. Ahead 2-1.
Only playing in his 17th big league game of the season, but that's due to injury, including a right knee sprain. 2-1. Check swing, called strike. 93 in the lower 3rd of the zone. 2-2. Kevin Gausman licks his fingers and wipes them on the back of his pants. 2 strikeouts for him in the start. He has a 2-2 count against Palacios. 1 out, runner on first, and the pitch. In the dirt, full count.
Yanked that one just a little bit. When you're trying to make an off-speed pitch move, generally speaking, you yank it just like Kevin Gausman did right there.
Gausman's 3-2 pitch. On the ground, up the middle, a base hit into right center. Seymour turns around second. He'll go back to the bag as Varsho tosses it back into Schneider. 2 on, 1 out.
Some good swings from Palacios already in this ball game. Like I said, it seemed like he's comfortable in the batter's box, seeing the ball well out of that right arm of Kevin Gausman.
I mean, that's a 4-seamer right on the down and away corner, and yet Palacios turns it into a single. 2 on now, only 1 out, and the dangerous Junior Caminero coming up for the Rays. Right-handed hitter with first and second, 1 out, faces a first pitch from Kevin Gausman. Down and away, ball 1. Sitting on 45 homers. The next one for Caminero would tie him with 2007 Carlos Pena for the most home runs in a single season in Rays franchise history. 1-0 pitch. Bounced. Good backhanded pick by Kirk. 2-0.
Seems like he's nibbling just a bit. Obviously, you don't want to throw anything over the heart of the plate to Junior Caminero, but you still have to make good pitches. You still have to throw strikes, especially with just 1 out and runners at first and second.
Set from Gausman, and his 2-0 pitch. Fastball in there at 96. 2-1.
A little bit of run on that 4-seamer.
Yeah, he'll get some movement, especially to the arm side. Threw a sinker last year, but naturally His arm kind of pronates. Perhaps why he throws the splitter so well. 2-1 on the ground left side. Diving stop Clement. Pops up and holds it. It actually fell out of his glove. Everyone is safe, but Ernie Clement does likely save a run with that diving stop. Lead runner from second, Seymour, has to stop at third. Up to second goes Palacios. Infield hit for Caminero, who's on first base.
And with Jonathan Aranda coming to the plate, Pete Walker's going to come out and have a chat with Kevin Gausman. Kevin Gausman knows exactly what he needs to do out there. He's been in this situation a million times before. So this is more of a slow the heart rate, slow the game down, the pace just a little bit. Everybody in the infield's in right now to have a quick conversation. Maybe go over the scouting report, see what pitch you want to throw, see how you want to attack this guy, but most importantly, just give Kevin Gausman a quick breather out there.
5-1 Blue Jays. 1 out, top of the third with the bases loaded. Aranda has homered in each of the previous 2 games in this series. Speaking of homers, we briefly go over to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard. Jordan Westburg has homered for the Orioles. It's 1-1. Orioles and Yankees, top of the 4th in New York. Aranda at the plate, infield back with the bases loaded, 1 out. Gausman's pitch, outside, ball 1. A reminder, if the Blue Jays win or the Yankees lose, the Blue Jays will end up taking the division, and we go back to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard because Gunnar Henderson has homered. It's 2-1 Orioles over the Yankees. Gausman's 1-0. Broken bat liner right side and down in fair territory, a base hit. Seymour scores. Behind him, Palacios scores. Into third goes Caminero on a 2-run single from Aranda. It's 5-3 for the Blue Jays as the Rays get it closer in the top of the third.
Yeah, not a terrible pitch from Kevin Gausman, but Jonathan Aranda is a really good hitter. He goes down and gets that split finger, breaks his bat actually, and dumps it into right field for a couple of RBIs. But this is what the Rays offense does. They have a pretty good lineup. Maybe not so much the bottom third, but the first 5 or 6 guys in this lineup are very, very good big league hitters.
3 straight hits for the Rays, and they make it closer just as the Orioles jump in front of the Yankees. First and third, still 1 out. 5-3 Blue Jays in the top of the 3rd inning. Josh Lowe to the plate. Kevin Gausman tugs on the brim of his cap and stretches his arm out behind him to the right. Gausman's first pitch. Called strike. Again, the infield back, middle infield especially. They're looking to turn 2 and try and end this inning. Lowe 0 for 1 in the game. He hit into a double play in the first inning. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Gausman dials it up to 95, top of the zone. It's 0-2.
Stay right there. Don't mess around with a split finger here. Maybe elevate just a little bit more than that.
Righty Gausman set at the belt. First and third, 1 out. And the 0-2. Poked foul over the netting into the seats, third base side. Gausman again with a 2-strike pitch. And another foul ball to the left.
Got away with one there. That fastball was right down the middle. Lowe was just a little bit late on it.
Lowe has pop. This year only 11 homers, although he's missed time due to injury. 2023 he had 20 home runs and 30 doubles. Gausman rocks and fires. And another rocket foul to the left side.
They've tried to go up above the strike zone 2 pitches in a row, and 2 fastballs in a row have been almost right down the middle. If you're going to go up here, you have to get it up.
Gausman's 0-2. Bouncer to first. Vladdy looking home. He'll throw. And Kirk with a tag to get the runner Caminero at the plate. Up to second goes Aranda. Low safe at first on a fielder's choice. Vladdy took his time, delivered on the money. Kirk blocked home once he was legally allowed to, and it's still 5-3 Blue Jays, 2 outs, top of the third.
For a split second, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. thought about going to second base and then remembered it seemed like Josh Lowe was running. Josh Lowe has a ton of speed. Probably wouldn't have doubled him off. A good job there getting the out at home plate.
So 2 outs, and it's first and second for the Rays, who have scored 2 in this inning to make it 5-3 Blue Jays. Jake Mangum is the hitter. Switch hitter batting left. Kevin Gausman with a pitch. And it's a swinging bunt, foul, first base side, 0-1. We welcome you to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Still 2-1 Orioles out of town. Orioles are up on the Yankees at the middle of the fourth. Oh, 1 pitch. Down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mangum grounded out to second in the second inning. Up now in the third, 2 on, 2 out. 1-1 pitch. Called strike, fastball, pops the glove on the inside corner, bottom of the zone. It's 1-2.
Mangum didn't like that call, tilted his head just a little bit, but that was a perfect pitch at the bottom of the zone.
Gausman's got to cup his right ear to hear the pitch calm as a jam-packed Rogers Center gets loud. And Mangum asks for time.
Because Mangum is more of a slap hitter, he has a good 2-strike approach. I would stay away from the split finger, try to bust him up with the fastball. We'll see what he does here, though.
One, 2. Down and in. He did go with the splitter, and he pulled it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Early action in the Blue Jay pen. Braden Fisher is up. Blue Jays could be treating this like a playoff game. 2-2. Popped up, back behind the plate. It'll go foul into the seats. And it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. And when I say treat it like a playoff game, that means if they feel like a pitcher is off or not performing in the way that they thought he might, they'll probably be quick to go to what is a really fresh bullpen right now.
Yep, short lease, you shorten the game if you get those bullpen arms in there early, especially if they're good like Braden Fisher.
5-3 Blue Jays, 2 outs, top of the third. Gausman with a 2-2. Fouled away. 97, right down the middle with a 4-seam fastball.
Yeah, again, they were trying to elevate Kevin Gausman for whatever reason. Couldn't get it to the top part of the strike zone. Good velocity on that fastball, though. Like you said, 97 miles an hour.
'62nd pitch of the start for Kevin Gausman on the way. Fouled in and out of the glove of Kirk. It drops to the left, and it's still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Another fastball right down the middle, Ben. Kevin Gausman, although the velocity helps him a little bit, he's gotten away with a couple of middle fastballs.
Yeah, that one 97 at least. Almost enough to punch out Mangum. Another 2-2. Line out to center, down for a base hit. Varsho picks it up. Coming to the plate, Aranda, the throw-off line. RBI single, Jake Mangum. It's a 1-run game, 5-4. The Blue Jays lead the Rays in the top of the third.
And that's why I said earlier that elevated fastball would work against a guy like Mangum, because he gets out in front, and that's really all he's trying to do is flick his wrists and get that ball to the outfield. And really nice job there. That split finger was actually below the strike zone, well below the strike zone. But with those slap hitters, you want to go hard up and in, and for whatever reason, Kevin Gausman just could not get it there.
One-run game, 3-run top of the third for the Rays, and the pitch to Hunter Fiducia. Fouled back 0-1. 5-4 Blue Jays, who with a win can take home the AL East or a Yankees loss on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. The Yankees are losing 2-1. Runner on second base is Josh Lowe, Mangum on first, and the 0-1 to Hunter Fiducia. Hit back foul, 0-2. Four Rays hits in the inning, plus a walk. Inning really got going for Tampa Bay when Gausman walked the 9-hitter, Bob Seymour. 0-2 pitch. Low ball 1.
That pitch count's really elevated now. 66 pitches here in the top of the third inning.
Pitch 67. Foul tip, strike 3. That'll do it for the top of the third. Rays make it a one-run game, scoring 3 on 4 hits. 5-4 Blue Jays, middle of the third. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
If you want to win your fantasy football league, you need to listen to Fantasy Sports Radio. From lineup decisions to daily fantasy to waiver wire advice, injury updates, and so much more.
You cannot afford to drop a running back.
Our experts will help you dominate.
Don't ever bench your stars. I don't care if they're playing a good defense. Play them every single week.
Set your lineup with Fantasy Sports Radio. Your home for fantasy football all season long. Channel 87 and on the Sirius XM.
All right, what is going on here? Blue Jays, we have ourselves a game after getting up 5-1. We were all excited, but here we are, 5-4. It's all right. The Yankees are down, but might not be for long. They've got men on first and second in the bottom of the fourth with nobody on. But the Jays got out of it. We're heading to the bottom of the third. Santander, Varsho, and Kirk coming up. Let's go. Cheers, everybody. Stefan, Roboto, Sonia, Dean, Stephen, Asselin. Amazing song. Son of a pitch. I'm a Leafs fan. I love it. I love it, man. All right, now let's get back to the baseball. We've got a title to win. Come on, let's go get that division. I need to see something out of Anthony Santander. Let's get this back going a little bit today before the playoffs. Let's go. Cheers, everybody.
The SiriusXM app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Blue Jays are in flight, leading 3-0.
Blue Jays fans, this is Ross Atkins, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on SiriusXM.
Blue Jays leading the Rays 5-4 as we start the bottom of the third in downtown Toronto. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Appreciate you tuning in to game 162. Ian Seymour to Anthony Santander, and the pitch misses high, ball 1. Santander, Varsho, Alejandro, Kirk for the Blue Jays in this inning. Left on right, the 1-0. Called strike, top of the zone, outer corner with a cutter, 1-1. Seymour winds and delivers. Pitches high and outside, ball 2. This guy does not really pause in between pitches. No. Gets it back. Santander never leaving the box as Seymour stretches his arms, steps back, kicks and offers a 2-1. Swing and a miss.
I can't think of anybody that works quicker than him, can you?
I don't think so. I mean, not off the top of my head.
I mean, I like it, but it's really quick.
So much so, Santander just asked for time. Seymour was winding. I don't even think Santander was in the box. I'm not sure Seymour even would have been allowed to throw that pitch. But they didn't bring the pitch comm in because of him, I'll tell you that. 2-2. Called strike 3. 90 on the inside corner. Santander goes to 0 for 2. And there's 1 out in the bottom of the third.
That's what Ian Seymour's really good at, locating that fastball down and in, up and in to right-handed hitters. That was a great AB for him.
Blue Jays leading right now, 5-4, bottom of the third. Dalton Varsho steps up. We're about to go to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. The pitch. Varsho shows bunt, drags it with him back to the mound. Seymour gloves and throws to first, and there are 2 outs. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, the Yankees have tied the Orioles in the bottom of the 4th. Giancarlo Stanton with an RBI single, and he is rounding into playoff form as he continues to drive in runs in this final series of the year. Stanton has made it 2-2 with the Yankees threatening to take the lead in the bottom of the 4th. Pitch to Alejandro Kirk with 2 outs, high ball 1. Kirk with the grand slam in the first inning has the Blue Jays in front, 5-4. The wind and the pitch. Check swing, he did go, says home plate ump Dan Bellino, 1-1. Kirk asks for time, so Seymour walks to the back of the mound, grabs the rosin bag for a moment, and steps back on the third base side of the rubber. Steps back, kicks and offers. Pitch outside, ball 2. Blue Jays were up 5-1. Now it's 5-4, and Kirk hits the 2-1 foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two-two pitch. Again fouled away.
Putting up a good fight. It's exactly what he's done all season long.
.280 hitter after that home run. 14 homers, 74 RBIs. 2-2. High ball 3. Ladder high there with a 4-seam fastball. Ian Seymour approaching 70 pitches in this game with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. 3-2. Hit foul off to the right. No action in the Rays pen in right field, but in left still. Guys stirring around for the Blue Jays. Braden Fisher just watching and waiting. 3-2 pitch. Kirk hits another one foul. Alejandro Kirk has seen 8 pitches in this at-bat. And 6 of them have been cutters. 3-2 once more. Hit well, left, center, and deep. Going back, Palacios hits off the fence. Kirk around first. He's digging for second. What a day Alejandro Kirk is having. He's got a double. Almost took it out to left center again, and he's in scoring position with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, he might have got that off the end of the bat just a little bit, but again, the whole point, or the whole reason why Alejandro Kirk has been good for this season, this whole season really, is he fouls off the tough pitches and hammers the mistakes. He fouled off some good pitches there from Ian Seymour. He got his mistake and he hammered it.
First pitch to Addison Barger, called a strike, borderline on the outside edge. Barger tilts his head to the left. It's 0-1. Kirk's 18th double of the year. He's on second, and the pitch to Barger. Fouled away, 0-2. Typically, the thought is this late in the year, your numbers are your numbers, so just go out there and do what you can to win. Not for Kirk, who's boosted his OPS by 15 points in this game already. 0-2 to Barger. Hit foul off to the left into the seats. It is all about winning right now, though, for the Blue Jays. They win the American League East. They're up 5-4. 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. Barger looking to drive in Kirk from second. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 7 Ks in 3 innings for Ian Seymour, and after the 2-out double, he strands Kirk to keep it a 1-run game. 5-4 Blue Jays go into the 4th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7 on Sirius XM Channel 156 is the destination for wrestling conversation.
Wrestling is a passion. Wrestling is an obsession.
And on Off the Ropes, Jonathan Coachman brings you inside the ring with legends like WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry.
That's what I do!
It's Off the Ropes, weekdays at 2 Eastern on the all-new Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7, Channel 156 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
Hey there, baseball fans. Conan O'Brien here to let you know that every Monday you can check out a new episode of my podcast, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. Each week, listen as I'm joined by some of the people I enjoy most. Perhaps we find some real friendships. Usually not. They don't stick around long. But we have a blast here. I play some of my favorite moments from my many decades in late night, my podcast, and a bunch of other great shows. That's Conan O'Brien Radio, Channel 104, here on Sirius XM.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Fantasy football players, from start-sit decisions to waiver wire advice. Win your fantasy football league with Fantasy Sports Radio, Channel 87, and on the Sirius XM app.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
The fourth inning is presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app for today's baseball odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. Blue Jays 5, Rays 4, top of the fourth. Tristan Gray leads off against Kevin Gausman. The pitch, called strike. Kevin Gausman gave up 3 in the third, looking to settle in here in the fourth with the bullpen ready in case they need it. His 0-1. Swing and a miss, quickly ahead of Gray there with an inside fastball. It's 0-2.
Yeah, missed his spot by quite a bit, but that was a good miss. Just tied him up on the inside part.
Fastball command has been a little scattered today, not very typical of Kevin Gausman. But the offense gave him a cushion, and he has used it. Still ahead by 1. Here's Gausman's 0-2 pitch to Gray. Just high. Tough take from Gray and a good one. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He needed that pitch and that location last inning. That was a good location. They tried to go up with that fastball and perfectly located just above the strike zone.
1-2. Fouled off the glove of Kirk into the backstop. Still a ball and 2 strikes. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard, it remains a 2-2 tie between the Orioles and the Yankees. 1-2 to Gray. Foul tip, strike 3. Kevin Gausman with his 4th punch out of the start. 1 out in the top of the 4th.
Why not have a couple of tight ball games in game 162?
I mean, even more tight ones. We aren't going to hit on them much. We'll leave them to our host, Show Ali, but a tight one between the Red Sox and Tigers that has implications for the playoffs. Red Sox up 4-3 on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard. 1 out, Carson Williams is up, top of the 4th, and Gausman's pitch. Hit on the ground right side and through. A ground ball hit into right field. Lined it about halfway deep of the infield dirt and then rolled its way. And Williams is on with 1 out. The other big game in the American League playoff picture, Cleveland Guardians could complete the best comeback in the divisional era, but they are trailing 4-3 to the Texas Rangers right now in the 3rd. And if they lose and Detroit wins today, then the Guardians will not complete that comeback despite all the fanfare. Out of town scores brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. 5-4 Blue Jays pitch to Bob Seymour, swing and a miss. Kevin Gausman essentially just threw a changeup, threw a fastball in the low 90s there. At 90 actually, to be exact, to get Seymour out in front. Runner on first, 1 out. Gausman with an 0-1 offering. Fastball high, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Carson Williams only has 1 big league stolen base this season. But so far in the minor leagues in AAA, he has 22 for the Durham Bulls. So you might want to keep an eye on him over there. He's got a lot of speed.
Takes a 3, maybe 4-step lead off first. And the 1-1 he takes off. Pitch is hit off the end of the bat. A swinging bunt to third. It's going to stay fair. And it'll be an infield hit for Bob Seymour, who got fooled enough he hit it off the cup of the bat, and yet he gets rewarded with a hit. Up to second goes Williams with 1 out.
That's just tough luck for Kevin Gausman. A perfectly located split finger down and away. Bob Seymour was way out in front of it, just cupped it, and Addison Barger was playing way off the line, so he had no play at first base to get Bob Seymour.
Well, Gausman has not been his sharpest. A lot of hits on the ground. Some of them hit harder than that one, but it does feel like the batted ball luck has not necessarily gone his way so far. First and second, 1 out. Richie Palacios is up, 2 for 2 in the game. Gausman's pitch. Called strike. Just saw Pete Walker on the bullpen phone again, and the Blue Jays still have Braden Fisher up. He's throwing leisurely because he's been up for a while. Mason Fluharty, the lefty, just got up in the Blue Jay pen as well. Oh, 1. Hooked on the ground, foul. Gausman ahead, 0-2. Win in the AL East is yours. That's what the Blue Jays know coming into this game. Kevin Gausman set, staring at second at the lead runner Williams. The 0-2 double steal, pitch in the dirt, throw to third, and it's safe. That's the call from Phil Cuzzy. Up to third goes Williams, and Seymour behind him into second. John Schneider looking back to DeMarlo Hale. Looked close to the naked eye. We'll see if the Blue Jays challenge. They will
FTC, no challenge. You can go ahead and reset. Thank you.
And the umpires continue to turn on a mic that I don't believe they're supposed to. But that's a big double steal now. No forces on the infield except at first anymore. And a fly ball or a ground ball could tie the game. Middle infield back, corners in. 5-4 Blue Jays. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Big punch out in response from Gausman. 2 outs in the inning.
I love that they went 4-seam fastball up there. It seemed to me like Palacios was expecting something off speed, maybe a slider or a split finger, and they just blew his doors off with 95 miles an hour at the top of the zone.
Now the infield can back up in general. Barger goes way back at third because Junior Caminero is up. Second and third, 2 outs. 5-4 Blue Jays. Gausman rocks and deals. Pitches low, ball 1. Runner on third base is Carson Williams. Bob Seymour on second. And the 1-0 to Caminero. Down and away. Speaking of Gausman having some tough batted ball luck, it was Caminero with an infield single in the third inning. A seeing eye bouncer that Ernie Clement had to dive to stop from getting the left field. 2-0. Called strike right on the outside corner with a splitter. 2-1.
Seemed like Junior Caminero didn't like that call, but that was a perfect location right on the corner.
Right-hander Gausman is set. His 2-1. Low, 3 balls and 1 strike.
They're really staying away from him.
This game has been a grind so far. Top of the 4th inning, 5-4 Blue Jays. 2 outs and 2 in scoring position. The 3-1. Down and away, ball 4, and they just stayed away from him the whole at bat. I think Gausman would rather try his luck, it seems, with Jonathan Aranda.
Well, once you fall behind Junior Caminero, I think that's the biggest thing. You don't want to come back over the heart of the plate. Obviously, he's got 45 home runs, a ton of juice. So once you fall behind, then you kind of nibble around that outside corner. Hopefully he gets himself out. He didn't get himself out, and now you move on to the next batter.
Kevin Gausman will not be moving on in this game, though. John Schneider is out to the hill, and Gausman has a bumpy one in game 1-6-2. He will come out with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Still appreciative of the effort. The fans getting to their feet to clap Gausman, who walks off the hill with the bases loaded. 2 down in the top of the 4th. It's 5-4 Blue Jays. A pitching change is brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Let's go over to today's host. Here's Show Ali.
Thanks, Ben. Let's check on that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. We'll check in on the Yankees-Orioles game, and it looks like that game will be still 2-2, headed to the bottom of the 5th inning. So we'll continue checking in on that throughout today. Certainly the Boston Red Sox. Ben mentioned this one a little bit earlier. The Red Sox still playing for some seeding, as are the Detroit Tigers. Right now, the Red Sox are leading the Tigers 4-3 at Fenway Park in the top of the 5th inning. Nobody on and 2 outs. Jarren Duran with an RBI double, a 2-run bomb from David Hamilton, and Javi Baez with a 3-run bomb for the Tigers on that end. As Ben mentioned as well, some seeding as well for the Guardians. Of course, they need a win to complete their comeback and lead the AL Central. Right now, they are trailing the Texas Rangers at Progressive Field in Cleveland, 4-3. This game's in the bottom of the 4th inning. Other scores around baseball right now, of course, the Mets are trying to hang on to the final playoff spot. They are trailing the Miami Marlins right now 4-0, and the Reds are also trailing the Brewers 3-2. And in the NHL, the season starts in just under 2 weeks, very close to puck drop across the league. Some news for us to get to here in Toronto, a contract extension for the Leafs. Goaltender Anthony Stolar signing a 4-year extension worth $15 million, an AAV of $3.75 million. The team just announcing that officially. Stolarz had missed nearly 2 months last year while recovering from knee surgery. He did, however, play an NHL career-high 34 games, get a .926 save percentage in those 34 games, 4 shutouts as well. Blue Jays baseball, as always, is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Back to our game here at the Rogers Center with the call. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you, Joe. The bases loaded, 2 outs, top of the 4th. Blue Jays up 5-4. Mason Fluharty ended his pitch to Jonathan Aranda. Called a strike, a top-of-the-zone sweeper that Aranda disagrees with the call. It's 0-1.
Most important thing here is Alejandro Kirk is a wall back there. You don't want to let anything get by you here with that run at third.
Cutter sweeper for the rookie Fluharty. His 0-1 pitch inside. 1 ball, 1 strike as that cutter almost hit Aranda. Kevin Gausman out after allowing 8 hits in 3 2/3. Responsible for all 3 runners on base. Fluharty's 1-1 pitch. Called strike. Right down the middle with a cutter. Aranda hasn't seen much of Fluharty. And he gets ahead of him 1-2. Fans rising to their feet in this pivotal part of the game. Blue Jays up 5-4. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Top of the 4th inning. Fluharty set. And the pitch. High and inside, 2-2.
That's almost where they wanted it. I thought that Jonathan Aranda might bite at that pitch. A perfectly located cutter just above the strike zone. A great take from him.
Two. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Huge punch out Fluharty. Throws his hands in the air to fire up the Rogers Center crowd. He'll strand the bases loaded in the Blue Jays. Lead it 5-4, middle of the 4th inning. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hey, you! Let's talk about what's catching everyone's eye. Is it the chipped paint flaking off your garage or the squeaky floorboard you always ignore? Help is always within reach at Home Hardware. Turn those side eyes into second looks at the Bring Beauty Tone Home Reno sale. Save 35% on Beauty Tone pure interior and exterior paints, and save up to 40% on in-stock vinyl and SPC flooring. Earn and redeem Scene Plus points at the Bring Beauty Tone Home Reno sale. On now until October 22nd. Only at Home Hardware and Building Centers. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian.
How do we craft tires specifically designed for Canadian weather conditions? We journey alongside them and endure the unexpected challenges the road throws at them. Winter is approaching quickly. Are you prepared? Choose Yokohama. Tailored precisely for Canadian weather, snow, ice, and cold can turn every drive into a challenge. Stay safe with the Yokohama Fall Rebate. Until November 30th, receive up to $100 back when you purchase 4 eligible Yokohama tires. Stay in control and drive with confidence. Choose Yokohama. Made precisely for you.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Bet365 must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Archer into second with a first inning 2-run double. It's 2-0 Toronto.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Ernie Clement leading off the bottom of the 4th inning, takes a pitch up high, ball 1. Welcome back to Rogers Center, where the Blue Jays lead the Rays 5-4. Ian Seymour's 1-0. Line and down in left field, a base hit. Ernie Clement is on for the first time in the game, and the Blue Jays have a leadoff runner on base in the bottom of the 4th.
Another good swing from Ernie Clement, and I would not be surprised here, especially with George Springer standing on deck, if Miles Straw bunted Ernie Clement over to second base. That's what I would do. We've seen John Schneider do that a bit this season, but not every time, so let's take a look.
I believe the Blue Jays lead the American League in sacrifice bunts. Pitch to Straw, he shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes a pitch high, ball 1. Blue Jays do lead the AL with 34 sacrifice hits, as they call the stat officially. 3rd in baseball behind the Diamondbacks, and the Padres love to bunt. 1-0, Straw squares, pulls it back again. 2 big misses up top. 2 balls, no strikes, and Straw can see Caminero crashing. Seymour is hardly moving off first. Usually, you might not bunt it that way, but I wonder if Straw takes it up the first baseline. Or maybe doesn't bunt in a 2-0 count. Here's the pitch. He squares, and he will bunt toward first. Seymour charges, turns, underhand flip to the second baseman, Gray, who covers nicely. Sacrifice bunt from Straw puts Clement at second with 1 out, and George Springer coming up.
Yeah, executed perfectly. That's the guy that I want up to sacrifice bunt. Seemed really comfortable, especially in a 2-0 count. He knows he's getting a heater there. Ian Seymour does not want to go to 3-0 there. Perfectly bunted to the right side of the infield. Ernie Clement ends up at second base.
That's Chris LaRue. I'm Ben Schulman. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. Game 162 for the Blue Jays, and if they win the division, or if they lose, they'll need a Yankees loss to win the division. And on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, the Yankees and the Orioles are tied 2-2 right now in the bottom of the 5th inning. Kyle Snyder out to the mound now. Wonder if they're discussing here, do you pitch to Springer or not? Runner on second, 1 out. So first base is open, and George Springer has reached both times against the pitcher, Ian Seymour.
If I'm Kevin Cash, I do not pitch to George Springer. I don't intentionally walk him, but I probably pitch around him. I'm sure that's what they're discussing right now. They might be asking Ian Seymour what he's comfortable with, because some guys just aren't comfortable nibbling, pitching around guys.
And also they might ask him what he wants, because it is a somewhat meaningless 162.
Right.
So if they want to give him the challenge of going after Springer from a Rays perspective, you know, if they lose or win 1,000,000-5 today, it doesn't matter for them at all. There is action in the Rays pen for the first time. Edwin Uceda is up, and it looks like they will pitch to Springer. Runner on second, 1 out. Seymour kicks and deals. Springer lines it, right field, base hit. Ernie Clement sees a stop sign at third. Late stop from him. He'll turn it back and dive back into the base. Springer's safe at first. He's been on all 3 times. And it's runners on the corners, 1 out.
That was a good stop sign from Carlos Fablis over there, the third base coach. Like you said, it was relatively late, so Ernie Clement actually slipped when he tried to stop coming around third base. Luckily, he was able to scamper back and get back there safely. But here comes Kevin Cash. I think Ian Seymour is out of this ballgame.
It's the second mound visit of the inning, so Seymour's day is done. A pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Edwin Uceda coming out of the Tampa Bay pen. First and third, one out in the bottom of the fourth inning. Blue Jays up 5-4. We go back to today's host. Here's Show Ali.
Thanks very much, Ben. Let's continue checking on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. All the baseball games on right now. Of course, we're going to continue checking on the Orioles-Yankees game. That game is still tied at 2. Kyle Bradish out of that game after 69 pitches. In for the fifth inning is Keegan Aiken. It's still, again, 2-2 game in the bottom of the fifth inning, though Yankees have 2 on and nobody out for Aiken. So a lot of traffic there for him to deal with. Other scores that we're keeping track of as well. I mentioned the Red Sox-Tigers game. It's still 4-3. Red Sox over the Tigers in the bottom of the fifth inning. All 4 runs coming off of Chris Paddock. Don't look at this one. Top of the sixth inning for the White Sox right now over the Nationals. Now, as we know, neither of these teams are making the playoffs. Shane Smith, who is on the mound for the White Sox, currently has a perfect game in the top of the sixth inning with a runner on second and 1 out for the White Sox batters. But 5 innings, no hits, no walks, 6 strikeouts for Shane Smith. He has thrown 56 pitches through 5 innings, so we'll certainly revisit that one. Bottom of the fifth inning, the Royals are currently leading the A's 4-0. Cole Reagan's on the mound. The Dodgers in Clayton Kershaw's final start of the regular season, certainly. He is having the Dodgers ahead 4-0 over the Seattle Mariners. All 4 runs coming off of Bryce Miller. And other games going on right now. The Phillies have already clinched the number 2 seed in the NL. The Brewers have already clinched number 1 seed. Phillies currently trailing the Twins 1-0. The Cubs, who will, as we know, play the Padres for the wild card in the NL, are currently leading the Cardinals 1-0 in the top of the 6th inning. Blue Jays baseball, as always, is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action here at the Rogers Center. Andres Jimenez striding into the batter's box with the call. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. John Schneider goes to his bench for the first time in the game. Andres Jimenez, a left-handed hitter on, as the lefty starter Ian Seymour has been lifted for Edwin Uceda. Davis Schneider's day is over. First and third, 1 out. 5-4 Blue Jays, bottom of the fourth. And the pitch. Jimenez swings and launches one, but it's going to hook foul almost into the 500 level. Lands in a 400 level box deep down the right field line. It's 0-1. Uceda, the right-hander, making his 70th appearance of the year, 3.63 ERA. His 0-1. Jimenez lifts it out to right center, very high, pretty deep. Tagging at third, Clement. Josh Lowe makes the catch. Ernie sprinting home, and Lowe will throw into second. Sac fly Andres Jimenez, and the Blue Jays lead it 6-4 in the bottom of the fourth.
That's exactly what he was trying to do there. He got the elevated changeup, and you could see him try to get that thing to the outfield. Did a great job doing that. Ernie Clement coming home, scoring easily on that deep fly ball from Andres Jimenez.
Sack bunt and sack fly in this inning for the Blue Jays, who extend their lead back to 2. 6-4 again is the score. 2 outs. Springer on first, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. up. Step off, throw to first, and a dive back in George Springer. Guerrero with an RBI single in this game is 1 for 2. Hard line out for Vlad. Last time he came up, hit one to straightaway center. Uceda's pitch. Hit foul to the right, 0-1. Side armor Uceda comes first with a sinker at 94. He'll also throw a four-seamer, change, cutter, and sweeper. The 0-1. Foul tip. Healthy hack there from Vlad on an elevated fastball. It's 0-2.
That's good to see. That's really all we want. We want a healthy hack from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Just missed that one.
Oh-2 count, 2 outs. Uceda's pitch, Springer off, and the pitch fouled back. Another pretty sizable swing from Vlad. Just missed a fastball over the middle.
Vlad seems pretty confident down there right now, bobbing his head to whatever song is playing right now. That's good to see.
Oh, 2 outs, still Springer on first. The pitch, Springer's off, and it's down and away. No throw Fiducia. Springer has his 18th stolen base of the year. So George in scoring position now, and a single to the outfield from Vlad could add to the Blue Jay run total. 6-4 Blue Jays. Uceda set. And the 1-2. Called strike 3. Fastball near the bottom of the zone. Guerrero rung up, and that will do it for the bottom of the 4th. Blue Jays get a run on 2 hits. 6-4 Blue Jay lead going to the 5th inning. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Spice up your fall with exclusive music specials and more in the SiriusXM app.
You put me on and said I was your favorite.
From cozy acoustic mixes to rowdy October, just search fall in the SiriusXM app.
If you want to win your fantasy football league, you need to listen to Fantasy Sports Radio. From lineup decisions to daily fantasy to waiver wire advice, injury updates, and so much more.
You cannot afford to drop a running back.
Our experts will help you dominate.
Don't ever bench your stars. I don't care if they're playing a good defense. Play them every single week.
Set your lineup with Fantasy Sports Radio. Your home for fantasy football all season long. Channel 87 and on the SiriusXM app.
Beginning Monday, September 29th, SiriusXM is giving away a pair of tickets to every MLB postseason game through the World Series. Listen to MLB Network Radio for the clues to be the first caller to correctly name the postseason hero. You'll receive a pair of tickets to an MLB postseason game. MLB Network Radio has your chance to win on SiriusXM 89 in the SiriusXM app. No transportation will be included in connection with these prizes. For full contest information and official rules, visit SiriusXM.com/MLB Postseason Heroes 2025. No purchase necessary. Open only to current SiriusXM subscribers prior to September 19th. Must be a U.S. resident over the age of 18.
Fantasy football players, from start-sit decisions to waiver wire advice. Win your fantasy football league with Fantasy Sports Radio. Channel 87 and on the SiriusXM app.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Blue Jays leading 6-4, top of the 5th inning at Rogers Center. Still Mason Fluharty. His first pitch cut on and missed by Josh Lowe, 0-1. We welcome you to the Timbermark broadcast booth. Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue. Show Ali, our host. Nick Blackmore, our producer. Christian Chinini and Tom Young, our technical directors. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Sweeper broke from the middle to down and away out of the zone. Whiff from Lowe makes it 0-2. Fluharty offers, and he got him. Same spot. Went with the cutter a little bit sharper there at 85, and he punches out Lowe, 1 out.
A couple of very uncomfortable swings there for Lowe. That'll tell you just how good that cutter is, just how good that sweeper is. And you have to love the fact that Mason Fluharty has come into this game and is pounding that strike zone.
They need him to. It's a battle of bullpens now. Neither starter in this game made it out of the 4th. Fluharty to Jake Mangum. Switch hitter turns around to bat right and swings and misses, 0-1. Mangum drove in a run with a single in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2. 0-1 pitch. Down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard, it remains 2-2. Orioles and Yankees. That game in the top of the 6th. More than likely, that game will finish before this one. 1-1. Outside 2-1. They started around the same time, but the hitters have had more control in this game than that one. The innings have taken longer, and therefore they're about a full inning ahead in the top of the 6th. We're in the top of the 5th here. The 2-1 is chopped toward third. Backhanded Barger stops, throws from the third base bag to first. Tons of zip on that one to get this speedy Mangum 2 outs.
Yeah, Jake Mangum has a ton of speed, so good thing Addison Barger was over there to get that ball across the diamond in a hurry. What a play by him.
2 outs, Fluharty back to the hill. And I mentioned on the St. Louis Bar and Grill Out of Town scoreboard that they might finish first because that could go one of two ways. The Orioles could win, and it could be a very relaxed last inning and a half, or the Yankees could win, and it could be a very tense 8th and 9th. First pitch to Hunter Fiducia is hit high in the air down the left field line. Straw near the sidewall, and it just gets over the wall. A Steve Bartman-esque fly ball into the left field foul stands 0-1.
Seems like Miles Straw's beside himself, wondering how that ball actually got out. He had a beat on it, and then for whatever reason, I guess the wind is blowing that way. It just kept going into foul territory.
Not a ton of movements from the banners out in center, but they're not always representative way above the field. Hanging just over the big screen. 0-1 to Fiducia. Swing and a miss. Uncomfortable there as he tried to catch up to the sweeper. And you can see what Mason Fluharty does to guys who have not seen his funk and his mix very often. 2 outs, base is empty. 6-4 Blue Jays, top of the 5th. The 0-2. Just outside. Check swing by Fiducia. I don't know if that was a great take or if he was fooled by that sweeper.
There's also a good frame job from Alejandro Kirk. Made that pitch look very, very good.
Left-hander sets, bringing the glove to his belt buckle. 1-2. Foul tip, and it's out of the glove of Kirk. Foul ball, it's not strike 3. Kirk popped up. I thought he had it, but it just slipped out of the mitt.
That might have caught him in the thumb. That glove was hanging off. That hurts when that ball gets you right in the thumb.
It did. Right on the underside of the mitt. And obviously that's going to be your most important finger in trying to hold on there. So Kirk couldn't squeeze it at the time, and Fluharty needs to throw one more good pitch. A 1-2 again. Down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You'll see a lot of catchers wear that thumb, that plastic thumb protector. I'm not sure if Kirk wears that.
I believe he usually has it. 2-2. Fouled away. I mean, just like everything, just like the shin guards, it helps, but only to a point.
Right.
I think we're still pretty far away in the equipment game before we think catching is a pain-free position. Fluharty's 2-2. Outside with a cutter, ball 3. And Fiducia has done a good job here. After nearly flying out on the first pitch he saw this at-bat, he's made it a 7-pitch plate appearance. Fluharty's 20th pitch overall. Hits sharply, a one-hopper to second. Ernie Clement over there now, backhands and throws to first for the out to end the top of the 5th. 1-2-3 for Mason Fluharty. Middle of the 5th, the Blue Jays in this all-important game, leading 6-4. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Beginning Monday, September 29th, SiriusXM is giving away a pair of tickets to every MLB postseason game through the World Series. Listen to MLB Network Radio for the clues. To be the first caller to correctly name the postseason hero, you'll receive a pair of tickets to an MLB postseason game. MLB Network Radio has your chance to win on SiriusXM 89 and the SiriusXM app. No transportation will be included in connection with these prizes. For full contest information and official rules, visit SiriusXM.com/MLB Postseason Heroes 2025. No purchase necessary. Open only to current SiriusXM subscribers prior to September 19th. You must be a U.S. resident over the age of 18.
This is Ryan Spilborgs from Loud Outs. Join CJ Nikowski and me as we get you set for October. It's baseball from a player's perspective, as we are joined by our cast of former players, Kevin Frandsen, Chris Jimenez, Ryan Healy, AJ Ramos, Lance Lynn, and more. We will break down all the playoff matchups and get you set for all the games in a way no one else can. Join us weekdays 2 to 5 Eastern on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM, Channel 89, and the SiriusXM app.
This is CJ Nikowski from Loud Outs. Join Ryan Spilborgs and me as we get you set for October. It's baseball from the player's perspective, as we are joined by our cast of former players, Kevin Frandsen, Chris Jimenez, Ryan Healy, AJ Ramos, Lance Lynn, and more. We'll break down all the playoff matchups and get you set for all the games in a way no one else can. Join us weekdays 2 to 5 Eastern on MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM Channel 89, and the Sirius XM app.
In season or out of season, the #1 place for college sports is Sirius XM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
Home half of the 5th inning, Anthony Santander leading off for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays on top 6-4. Edwin Uceda's second inning of work out of the pen starts with a pitch high and outside, ball 1. Blue Jays leading have already made one defensive sub, although they did it as a pinch hit appearance when Andres Jimenez came in for Davis Schneider. 1-0. Outside 2-0. Jimenez then took over at short with Clement going to second, replacing Schneider. And I think that there's a chance this might be the last action of the game for Santander with the Blue Jays leading. 2-0 pitch. Outside ball 3. I think half the reason you have Santander in right as opposed to Springer is that now you can defensively replace. I see Nathan Lucas standing up in the dugout. There's a chance he's coming in defensively next inning. 3-0. High and outside ball 4. A patient Santander takes a 4-pitch walk to lead off the inning.
Edwin Uceda normally isn't wild, so that's rare that he throws 4 straight balls like that. But that's an important leadoff runner for the Toronto Blue Jays. A great at-bat from Anthony Santander.
Only the 28th walk for Uceda this year, who's thrown 75 innings and punched out 103 in that time. Now maybe Santander is staying in, I will say, because he is running for himself right now at first. Dalton Varsho up in the first pitch, hit high in the air center, moving back Mangum a little off the end of the bat. It dies out in deep center. Mangum makes the catch, and there's one out. For a split second there, as you might have been able to tell, I thought that he got that ball, but he did not.
Well, it was a pretty good changeup from Uceda, and that's why Dalton Varsho was out in front. He hit it off the end of the bat. If he gets it on the barrel, it's probably out of here, but just got it off the end of the bat just a little bit, unfortunately for him.
Alejandro Kirk to the plate now. A homer and a double in 2 at-bats. Santander on first, 1 out. Uceda's pitch. High and outside, ball 1. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, still 2-2 Orioles Yankees. Frankly, both teams have blown big opportunities to take the lead. 1-0. Kirk takes it, called a strike right at the knees with 93 was Uceda. It's 1-1. All of our out-of-town scores brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. 6-4 Blue Jays in the 5th. Step off, throw to first. Santander dives back in. He has not attempted a stolen base in now 54 games this year. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Kirk pulls off and swung through that fastball on the outer third. 1-2.
There's a big hole on the right side of that infield. Tristan Gray, the second baseman, is almost playing up the middle, and then Bob Seymour is holding on Santander at first. So if Alejandro Kirk can go the other way, he might find himself at first base.
Set from Uceda, belt high, and from the first base side of the rubber, his 1-2 pitch. High and outside. Really varying up his times. I think potentially paying a little too much attention to Santander.
Yeah, that's probably affecting the command of his pitches. That last fastball was really nowhere near the strike zone.
Two. Kirk lifts it. Center field. Mangum back at the track, at the wall. See you later, Alejandro Kirk. Two-run homer, and the Blue Jays spill out of the dugout. They're leading 8-4 in the 5th. My goodness, Alejandro Kirk with the game of his life. 2 homers. He's driven in 6 of the 8. Pitch to Barger is crushed foul, 0-1.
So I keep mentioning the 2-strike approach with 2 strikes, and he keeps hitting home runs with 2 strikes. So I'm going to continue to mention that 2-strike approach. What a swing from him. A changeup down below the strike zone. He goes down and gets it. 6 RBIs for him.
Curtain call for Kirk as Barger takes outside. And the fans getting loud as Kirk came up, threw his hands in the air to acknowledge this loud Rogers Center crowd. One. Grounded foul, 1-2. And prior to his home run in the 7th yesterday, Kirk was about 5 for 50 in a 3-week span. In his last 4 at-bats, he's homered, hit a grand slam, double, 2-run homer. The 1-2 pitch. Barger breaks his bat on a fly ball down the right field line. This could be trouble. Gray going back. That's down for a base hit. Barger races into second. The ball gets away. He'll remain at second with a bloop double.
Well, it seems like that nervous energy that was here about 7 or 8 minutes ago has lifted just a little bit. The Blue Jays leading 8-4 now. Addison Barger sliding in safely into second base with a big double here. He'll take it.
For Barger in his impressive breakout season, his 32nd double of the year to go along with 20 home runs. Ernie Clement back up, 1 for 2, single and a run scored. The pitch, down and away, ball 1. Blue Jays now leading 8-4. If they win this game, they win the American League East. Not only that, the top seed in the American League overall. 1-0. Outside 2-0. One out, Barger on second. Edwin Uceda looks back, kicks and deals home. Bouncer foul, third base side, 2-1. They can't rest on anything. Blue Jays were up 5-1, and the Rays made it 5-4 before this 2-run homer in the 5th extended it back out to 8-4. 2-1, outside, ball 3.
If you're the Blue Jays, you play these next 4 innings like it's 0-0. Keep things tight, fill up that strike zone, make good pitches. Don't get comfortable.
The 3-1 pitch. Swatted, it's popped up high towards second. Gray walking in, makes the catch about 20 feet from the second base bag. Barger remains there. There are 2 outs. Blue Jays leading 8-4. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. And Miles Straw will hit with Barger on second. The pitch. Called strike. Straw with a bunt and a strikeout, 0 for 1. The 0-1 pitch. Hit on the ground softly to short, charging Williams. Straw pulls up as Williams delivers a good throw into first to end the 5th. Alejandro Kirk doing it all day. His 2nd home run of the game has put the Blue Jays in commanding position again. 8-4. The Blue Jays lead as we go to the 6th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Protect your waste and recycling equipment from costly repairs. With a custom maintenance plan, optimize your waste system performance and longevity with Metro Compactor Service. They've got you covered coast to coast with the largest service fleet in Canada. Their innovative iSmart technology can remotely diagnose, troubleshoot, and monitor equipment health in real time. For on-demand or proactive service, sales, rentals, and extended warranties for all your waste equipment, visit metrocompactor.com. metrocompactor.com.
Timber Mart. Locally owned, proudly Canadian. Your home team advantage with the right materials and the right price. Project know-how that's brought together a wealth of plans and solid advice. Trust your team at your locally owned Timber Mart. Timber Mart always has plans to help you with your plans. Your home, your cottage, your garage, whatever needs your attention first, check the most visited spot on our website for ready-to-order plans to get the job done with Canada's Building Centre. Visit timbermart.ca.
Bingo!
Great games, good friends, and giving back. That's what charitable gaming's all about. At a charitable bingo and gaming center, your gameplay has a real-world impact on thousands of Ontario charities supporting causes such as counseling services, youth sports programs, and healthcare. So come and enjoy a wide variety of games. And remember, when you play, local charities win. See how we play. Visit charitablegaming.ca. Please play responsibly.
Charitable Gaming. Community good.
Hi, this is Jeff Hoffman, and you're listening to Toronto Blue Jays baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Blue Jays leading 8-4. We go to the top of the 6th inning in Toronto. It's a pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Louis Varland on the hill for the first time since his electric opener appearance a couple days back, and his pitch to Tristan Gray, high and outside, ball 1. 3 days ago, with the Blue Jays having their backs against the wall, Varland pitched 2 scoreless innings, opening against the Red Sox in the series finale on Thursday. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss, powers in 99, 1-1. Defensive change for the Blue Jays. Nathan Lucas in the game in right. Santander is out in the 1-1. Cut on and missed, 1-2. Wouldn't be shocked if pretty soon guys like IKF factor in defensively as well. Blue Jays treating this like it's an elimination game in the playoffs. The 1-2. Foul tip, held on to by Kirk, strike 3. Varland gets him on the curve, 1 out.
Louis Varland is slowly starting to look comfortable out there. When he first was traded over from the Minnesota Twins, it seemed like he was trying to do too much, trying to be perfect out there, and now he's a little bit more comfortable looking like he did really with the Minnesota Twins the first half of this season.
A really intense guy as well. Big mound presence. His pitch to Carson Williams, 95 on the inside edge, strike 1. That's 95 on his slider, by the way. Louis Varland jacked up right now in the top of the 6th. 0-1 pitch. Hit foul to the right, 99 on the inner half. It's 0-2.
Just filling up that strike zone. That's exactly what you need to do. If you have the stuff of Louis Varland and your team is up by 4 runs, just fill up that strike zone.
8-4 Blue Jays, 1 out, top of the 6th. Varland into the wind. His 0-2. Up and in at 100 miles an hour. Williams ducked back, and you feel for him as that zipped right by his eyes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Varland quickly winds. 1-2. Called strike 3. Kirk helped it up. It might have been below the zone, but for Varland, the curveball earns him back-to-back strikeouts, 2 down.
That's almost unfair. I don't think that was a strike, but it was a good pitch. Good knuckle curve, maybe about an inch or 2 below that strike zone. Like you said, Alejandro Kirk not only swings the bat well today, he is framing that baseball, stole that strike there for Louis Varland.
An American League leader in StatCast catcher framing runs. Alejandro Kirk, the best in the league at doing it. Now the first pitch to Bob Seymour, hit foul, 0-1. Certainly some luck involved, but the Blue Jays get those calls more often than a lot of other teams, and it's not due to some widespread conspiracy, but rather Alejandro Kirk's quick hands. 0-1 pitch. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, bases empty, top of the 6th. We welcome you to the Timbermart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Christian Chiniti and Tom Young, our technical directors. Show Ali, our host. Nick Blackmore, our producer. And the 1-1 is bounced a 95-mile-an-hour change from Louis Varland. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Just to put things in perspective, that was Kevin Gausman's fastball today.
Right. I mean, Varland is unbelievable. He's 2-1. High ball 3. It kind of reminds you of the likes of Jordan Hicks, who did throw a little harder on average than Louis Varland. But they got Varland not just for the back half of this year, multiple years going forward. 3-1 pitches outside, and he does walk the 9-hitter Seymour with 2 outs.
Yeah, obviously not what you want to do there, but it looked a little bit like Louis Varland knows that Bob Seymour has 58 home runs in the minor leagues over the last couple of years. A guy with a ton of pop. Once you fall behind, you say to yourself, well, I don't want to throw one over the middle here because he could potentially hit it out, but at the same time, you're up by 4 runs. A solo shot doesn't do anything.
Varland works from the stretches. Pitch to Richie Palacios is a swinging bunt tapped behind the plate foul over the Blue Jay dugout, or pardon me, Blue Jay logo, and into the backstop. It's 0-1. Top of the 6th, 8-4 Blue Jays on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Still 2-2 Orioles and Yankees. 0-1. Palacios fouls it off again. 0-2. Louis Varland checks over his left shoulder and sets. His 0-2. Line toward right field. Lucas on the run. It's down in front of him, a base hit. Seymour makes the turn, goes first to third. Lucas's throw skips back in to shortstop Andres Jimenez at second. It's first and third with 2 outs after a Palacios single that wasn't hard hit, but well placed.
Yeah, a little bit of a hanging knuckle curve as Pete Walker is going to come out and have a chat with Louis Varland, but I mean, we talked about this earlier. It seems like Richie Palacios is relatively comfortable in the batter's box at least in today's ball game. Swinging the bat really well.
A pretty solid player. His year has just been wiped away by injury, and you know, they don't start Chandler Simpson today. They start Richie Palacios. You might have seen that in some of the outrage of what are the Rays doing today. I don't know that Palacios is a worse player than Chandler Simpson. I think that they both are pretty solid players. Palacios on first now, chatting with Vlad, Bob Seymour, Addison Barger, and third base coach Brady Williams talking at third as Pete Walker, Alejandro Kirk, and Louis Varland meet. Subject to their discussion, Junior Caminero can easily make this a 1-run game with 1 swing. He's got 45 homers this year and steps up with 2 outs and runners on the corners.
Yeah, it's a good time for a mound visit, especially with the relative youngster on the mound in Louis Varland. Really hasn't been in many situations like this over the course of his career, so good job from Pete Walker going out there and slowing the heart rate.
Blue Jays up 8-4. First and third, 2 outs, top of the 6th. Varland set, looking in at Caminero. The pitch. Bounced. Good backhanded pick by Kirk. Just saved a run, keeping Seymour at third. Kirk popped up and faked a throw at him. It's 1-0. $17 pitches in the inning for Varland, who punched out the first 2 he saw. His 1-0. Swing and a miss. Got the chase there on the curve. Might have been a hair outside. Swing from Caminero makes it 1-1. Now the 22-year-old will ask for time. Second most homers in a single season in Rays history. 1-1 pitch. On the ground up the middle. Jimenez stumbles, gloves near his ankles, underhand flips over to second to end the top of the 6th inning. A little 2-out trouble with a walk and a hit, but Varland strands a pair. 8-4 Blue Jays, middle of the 6th, as they are 9 outs away from winning the AL East. Still a lot to be decided, though. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Here's what's happening on Sirius XM Sports.
If it's a Sunday during the NFL season, it's the Sunday Drive. Catch live look-ins,
instant scoreboard updates, and expert analysis and breakdown of every game on the gridiron with reporters at every stadium. For complete coverage, tune to SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the SiriusXM app.
SiriusXM Sports. Wherever you are, your team plays here.
Basketball is back.
We're talking here with Anthony Edwards.
Every time I get to step on the floor, I feel like it's my first game again. From the hardwood to the headlines, we're bringing you inside access to every NBA team with exclusive interviews and analysis.
Joined by the one and only Steph Curry.
We understand we're working towards something bigger.
NBA Radio season preview shows begin Monday night at 7 and 8 Eastern. Only on NBA Radio, Channel 86 and the SiriusXM app.
Are you ready? Wrestling fans, you asked for it? You got it. Introducing Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7, an all-new channel on SiriusXM dedicated to the squared circle.
This right here is the future of wrestling.
Catch interviews with the top stars and the biggest names breaking down WWE, AEW, TNA, and everything in between daily. Listen to Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7, channel 156, and on the SiriusXM app.
The Blue Jays are in flight, leading 3-0.
Blue Jays fans, this is Ross Atkins, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on SiriusXM.
That radio network.
8-4 Blue Jay lead after a gutsy 6th inning from Louis Varland. Bottom of the 6th, George Springer is up against Kevin Kelly. Ray's new pitcher offers home in the side armor. Hits the zone at 91 with his fastball, 0-1. Pitching change to Kelly, brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. 0-1 pitch. Called strike, 92 on the inside edge. Not a lot of movement or velocity from Kelly. It's the funk. He's even further down in release point than Uceda, the reliever before him. 0-2. High, dialed it up to 94 there, missed up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Third pitcher for the Rays in this game. Kelly unloads a 1-2. And Springer lifts it. Left field and deep. Going back to the warning track. Palacios there to make the catch. And there's 1 out.
That sweeper ate him up just a little bit. It was a little bit of a backup spinner on the inner third. I think that George Springer expected it to break a little bit more than it did. Ate him up. And he hit it off the handle of the bat just a little bit. Still missed a home run by about 10 feet over there in left field.
Andres Jimenez to hit for the 2nd time in the game, and the pitch from Kelly high and outside, ball 1. For Springer, that was the first time that he's been retired in this game. He's now 2 for 3 with a walk. Andres Jimenez, no at-bats. He came in to pinch hit in the 4th and hit a sac fly. 1-0 pitch. Outside, ball 2. Let's quickly zip over to the Bet365 standings. At Bet365, you can bet on popular markets like hits, home runs, and total bases. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. 2-0 pitch, looked outside, but it's called a strike. It's 2-1. If you need a reminder of the stakes, Blue Jays and Yankees tied atop the AL East, 93 and 68. Blue Jays hold the tiebreaker. 2-1 to Jimenez. Line foul left side, 2-2. Red Sox not competing in the division. They will be in the wild card in some form. They're 88 and 73, and then the Rays cemented in 4th place this year, 77 and 84. The Orioles will be 5th in the AL East, 75 and 86. Standings brought to you by Bet365. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jimenez goes down. 2 outs in the inning, but the Blue Jays up 8-4 right now. The Yankees are in a 2-2 tie on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard with the Orioles. If the Blue Jays hold this lead to the finish, it doesn't matter what the Yankees do. But if the Blue Jays lose, they need the Yankees to lose, or the Yankees will steal away the division on the last day. Bottom of the 6th, 2 outs. First pitch outside to Vlad. A check swing and an appeal down to first. No swing says Clint Vondrak. 1-0. Guerrero 1 for 3 with an RBI single. 1-0 pitch. Bounced a high chopper to the right side, fielded by the second baseman Gray. He'll throw on to first in Kevin Kelly. Authors a 1-2-3, bottom of the 6th. We go to the 7th inning. The Blue Jays up 8-4. Brendan Little about to enter for Toronto. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Your business runs 24/7, but what happens when your loading dock grinds to a halt? Get back in business fast with Bagley Overhead Doors and Docks. Your overhead door problem is our problem, and we're good at fixing problems. Repairing your overhead door, dock, or have truck restraints that require service? No problem. We also offer preventative maintenance inspections to eliminate the chaos and expense of unplanned emergencies. Bagley Overhead Doors and Docks, trusted for over 60 years. Visit BagleyOverheadDoors.com today.
Wake me up when we make the playoffs.
Wake up, Canada. We made it.
At Endy, we know greatness starts with a great rest. That's the beauty of sleep. It fuels focus and sharpens performance. It's how Endy helps all Canadians rise to shine. Endy mattresses are proudly made in Canada. And right now, take $150 off for a limited time. Shop now at Endy.com. Terms and conditions apply.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle.
Beat the rush. Protect your vehicle with Canada's #1 rust protection today. Find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
This is Jose Berrios, and you're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to downtown Toronto. It's the 7th inning, brought to you by Shell V-Power Nitro Plus. Want more from your vehicle? Try Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline, fueling every drive with a fuel like no other. Blue Jays win today, and they win the AL East. Top of the 7th starts with Brendan Little into the game. He'll take on lefty hitter Jonathan Aranda. Left on left, the first pitch of the 7th. Inside, Aranda jackknifes out of the way, ball 1. 2 hits for Aranda in the game, 2 for 3. He struck out his last time up against Fluharty. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Brendan Little, another lefty, making his 79th appearance of the year. A 3.07 ERA.
79 appearances. That's a bit ridiculous, don't you think?
It's almost half the games. 1-1. Down and away, 2-1. It's about the limit that you can put on a person's body to pitch in a season. You're not going to throw 95 times in a year. Kick in the 2-1. Fouled off the glove of Kirk. It pops behind him. Onto the turf behind home plate. 2-2. Kevin Gausman only lasted 3 2/3, but since the Blue Jays have gone from Fluharty to Varland to Brendan Little, the Rays have not scored since the 3rd inning. 8-4 Blue Jays, top of the 7th with no outs. The 2-2 pitch. High, ball 3. Little set just above the belt. Twist back and fires. Called strike 3. Dan Bellino took his time, but rung up Aranda on a fastball on the upper inner corner of the zone. I actually think that was a strike, but a little chuckle from both Aranda and Little as the delayed call means out number 1.
Well, I think the issue with that call is Brendan Little missed his spot by quite a bit. They were trying to go away, and I think you're right. That was a strike. A good call by the home plate umpire.
That's the cutter for Little that got the strikeout. Now the cutter gets him ahead of Josh Lowe. That pitch appeared to be out of the zone, but it's called a strike. It's 0-1. 8 outs separating the Blue Jays from an AL East title. Up 8-4. 0-1. inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Next pitch hit foul, 1-2. Little to the back of the hill. The rosin bag for the lefty, who only about 19 months ago was going to be let go by the Cubs before the Blue Jays swooped in to trade for him. His 1-2 swing and a miss, strike 3, and in one of the biggest outings of his life, he's punched out a pair. 2 down, top of the 7th.
Yeah, and it seemed like he's found the release point. Was a little bit erratic to that first hitter, Jonathan Aranda. But to Josh Lowe there, he made some really nice pitches. That last knuckle curve was, I mean, maybe the best one in recent memory for me.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Little. Jake Mangum to the plate. Bases empty, 2 outs. And the pitch. High and outside, ball 1. One-0 pitch. Mangum takes outside and high, 2-0. Little dangles his left arm. Hand about knee high. Now he sets. 2-0 pitch. High and outside. Missing arm side here a couple times in a row to Mangum. It's 3-0.
Yeah, he's got to find that release point again. Those last 3 balls to Mangum haven't been close.
Four-run lead, 2 outs, top of the 7th. The 3-0. Right over the plate with a fastball for strike 1. Little kicks and fires, and the pitch is outside, ball 4, a walk. And Mangum goes down to first. Braden Fisher continues to warm up in left. He's been throwing pretty much all game. Blue Jays will stick with Little for now, though. A left-handed hitter up at Hunter Fiducia. For the lefty reliever, Little to attack. First pitch. Called strike, top of the zone with a 4-seamer, it reads. I think that was a cutter, to be honest. It's 0-1. Not really a straight fastball in the arsenal of Brendan Little. More sinker cutter with his curve. Is 0-1. Swing and a miss. Fiducia tried to hold up on an elevated fastball but couldn't. It's 0-2.
That was a really uncomfortable swing. If I'm Brendan Little, I just stay right there, go right back up there above that strike zone.
Runner on first, 2 down. 8-4 Blue Jays, top of the 7th. The 2-strike pitch. In the dirt, ball 1. AL East title on the line. Top seed in the American League on the line. Little's 1-2. Up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Blue Jays may get help from New York, but they're not waiting around for it. They've had to win every day to keep pace with the red-hot Yankees. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Top of the 7th is done, and the Blue Jays still lead it 8-4. 6 more outs required. We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
How do we craft tires specifically designed for Canadian weather conditions? We journey alongside them and endure the unexpected challenges the road throws at them. Winter is approaching quickly. Are you prepared? Choose Yokohama. Tailored precisely for Canadian weather, snow, ice, and cold can turn every drive into a challenge. Stay safe with the Yokohama Fall Rebate. Until November 30th, receive up to $100 back when you purchase 4 eligible Yokohama tires. Stay in control and drive with confidence. Choose Yokohama, made precisely for you.
Buck Martinez here to tell you about the huge Double XL. 3-topping pizza from Pizza Pizza, just $19.99. That's a whopping 18-inch 3-topping thing of beauty for only $19.99. So hurry into Pizza Pizza today and bring a big appetite for a hot and fresh Double XL pizza. I'm loving this big voice. I may just call the game this way.
Order pizzapizza.ca.
Bingo!
Celebrate a win for your community at a charitable bingo and gaming center. Each game you play has a real-world impact on thousands of Ontario charities facing challenges such as food insecurity, educational needs, and rehabilitation. So come choose from a wide variety of entertainment options. And remember, when you play, local charities win. See how we play. Visit charitablegaming.ca. Please play responsibly.
Charitable Gaming. Community good.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Jose Barrios with a trio of strikeouts to end a scoreless 6.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership or the Sportsnet Radio Network. First pitch of the bottom of the 7th, a called strike. Kevin Kelly to Nathan Lucas. Blue Jays lead 8-4. A win today. They win the AL East. The 0-1 to Lucas. Hit back foul 0-2. Nathan Lucas hitting for the first time in this game. He came in defensively for the top of the 6th, replacing Anthony Santander. Kelly, the righty, with an 0-2. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two pitch. Lucas lines it. Second deck, left side foul. Actually popped up into the boxes before falling back into a sea of hands. Still 1-2. One of the big surprises of this season, the reason the Blue Jays can win this division, Nathan Lucas, who swings and fouls off another into the Blue Jay dugout. Caught by George Springer. It's 1-2. So many big hits for Lucas over the last several days to help the Blue Jays keep pace and stay in front of the Yankees. 1-2. Fouled right back. At another Nathan Lucas at bat, he's fouled off 3 straight 2-strike pitches. He'll see a 7th pitch coming up.
So many big hits and so many good at-bats. That's the reason why he's been able to get those big hits. He fights off the tough pitches a lot like Alejandro Kirk has over the last couple of days.
The 1-2. Down and in. Kelly yanked the sinker, looked immediately at his right hand. Lucas is taxing him early on in this inning. New baseballs for the home plate up Dan Bellino, and Kelly about to throw an 8th to Nathan Lucas with the Blue Jays up 8-4. The 2-2. Bounce left side. Caminero waits on it. Third baseman gloves. Throws a little high to first, but Seymour's a big first baseman. He brings it in, and there's 1 out.
Looked like Nathan Lucas was trying to shoot that hole on the left side. That's where the majority of his big hits have come.
They covered it up this time. They still shift him, which I don't totally get, but at least if you are, commit to the shift. Yeah. Bring your third baseman way over, and that's what they did. Basically played him at short. 1 out, Dalton Varsho up. 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. The pitch. Ripped through the middle. A base hit into right center. Dalton Varsho 2 for 4. And the Blue Jays cooking again in the bottom of the 7th. 1 on, 1 out.
That's good to see. Dalton Varsho using the big part of the field. Just ripping that good line drive right back up the middle.
All the fans rise to their feet now. 2 homers, a double, 6 RBIs for Alejandro Kirk. He'll hit for the 4th time in this game. Kelly set. And the pitch. Called strike down the middle there to get ahead 0-1. Next pitch. Broken bat pop-up, shallow left center, and it's caught by the backtracking Carson Williams. Shortstop turns around to see Varsho sprinting back into first, and there are 2 outs. Finally, they solve Alejandro Kirk as Kelly saws him off. And Addison Barger will hit with 2 down and Varsho on first. Kevin Kelly brings his hands together. Varsho leads off, and the pitch to Barger. Called strike on the outside edge. Looking ahead to the top of the 8th, the Blue Jays 6 outs away from taking the division title, something they have not done since 2015. 0-1. Fouled back. St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard still shows 2-2. Yankees and Orioles, that game in the 8th. 0-2 to Barger. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yankee loss or Blue Jay win means an AL East title in Toronto. 1-2. High, 2 balls and 2 strikes, borderline pitch. Good take from Barger.
That is a tough take. That's a pitch that he's offered at quite a bit this season. Maybe he's tightening up that approach just a little bit.
2-2. Outside and low ball 3. Very patient here in this 7th inning from Barger. Because of that, a full count and 2 outs will activate Varsho. He'll be off on the pitch. Seymour, the first baseman, now plays behind him. The pitch. Poked foul over the netting third base side into the seats out of play. Still 3-2. It's been a fun one at Rogers Center. Blue Jays leading 8-4 with the AL East title on the line. 3-2 pitch. Crushed! Right center field. Turning back low. Out of here! Two-run homer. Addison Barger. The Blue Jays lead 10-4 in the 7th. And the people are up and dancing in Toronto again. 2 outs in the pitch to Ernie Clement, called low. Ball 1. 3 big homers, 2 from Kirk, and now Addison Barger's 21st of the year, and an uncharacteristic bat flip to follow. 1-0. Outside to Clement, 2-0.
Well, a lot like Alejandro Kirk, he's really been going through it. He's been struggling over the last 3 weeks or so, so that has to feel good. And we noticed something during that at-bat, taking really tough pitches.
2-0 pitch outside, 3-0.
And finally, he got that mistake. A lot like Alejandro Kirk over the last couple of days, putting together a good at-bat, getting that pitch over the heart of the plate. And boy, oh boy, he did not miss it. What a good feeling rounding those bases.
3-0 pitch, called strike. With the caveat that Kirk has 6 RBIs of the 10. All 10 runs driven in by Kirk, Barger, Vlad, and Andres Jimenez. 4 guys who have not had their easiest time over the last 2 to 4 weeks. There, Ernie Clement fouls the ball off his foot. and he's hopping around in pain. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. John Schneider, Vunchong quickly out of the Blue Jay dugout. They want to check on Ernie. And I would imagine maybe don't mess around here. I know there's 6 outs left. Blue Jays up 10-4. He found that right off the top of his left foot. Ernie's a gamer, but I think maybe you go to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa here if Clement's really in pain.
Yeah, Ernie just took his helmet off. I don't know if he's going to stay in this. I guess it does look like he's going to stay in this ball game. We saw the replay, and that ball went right off the top of his foot. That's not a good place to get hit. But like you said, he's a gamer.
I mean, he's had a broken bone in his hand, stitches in his leg. Probably can't feel his foot, and if he can feel it, it doesn't feel good right now. But Ernie Clement back in the box, full count, 2 outs. Kelly's pitch. Down and away, ball 4. He'll take a walk. Little ginger on the jog down to first. But Clement getting the blood flow back in that foot as he strides 90 feet down the line. By the way, on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, Ben Rice has homered. The Yankees have taken a 3-2 lead over the Orioles. 2 homers in the game for Rice. So the Yankees winning right now, but so are the Blue Jays in their quest for the AL East. Blue Jays up 10-4. 2 outs, pitch to Miles Straw. Called strike 0-1. And just like they had told us, Chris, a couple days ago, Blue Jays assuming the Yankees win every game. Oh, 1 pitch outside. And whatever happens here in the next 30-40 minutes, and I know adversarial teams and franchises and fan bases, these 2 teams have done something really good for baseball. The Blue Jays and Yankees putting on a heck of a race here for the AL East. 1-1. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike as a 3-level wave rips around Rogers Center from left field to right. 10-4 Blue Jays. Runner on first, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. The 2-1 pitch. Lined out to right center. This ball headed toward the gap. It's down, bouncing toward the wall. Clement to third. He gets the wave. Straw chugging for third. He'll dive in head first. Ernie scores. RBI triple Miles Straw. 11-4 for the Blue Jays.
Another guy at the bottom of this Blue Jays lineup that has gotten the job done all season long. Not trying to do too much with that pitch, just takes it the other way. And how about that? Ends up at third base with an RBI and a triple here late in this ball game. Every run matters. That's an important RBI. That's an important run in this ball game.
And it will lead to a pitching change for the Rays. Brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Runner on third, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, 11-4, the Blue Jays lead. We go over to today's host. Here's Show Ali.
Thanks, guys. Let's check out that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. As Ben mentioned, Ben Rice with 2 solo home runs in this ball game for the Yankees, who do lead the Orioles 3-2. That game's headed to the still in the bottom of the 8th inning. They just made a pitching change in the Bronx. But again, 3-2 Yankees over the Orioles. If we check out some other scores around Major League Baseball, the Boston Red Sox, top of the 9th inning for the Red Sox, 2 outs at Fenway Park. So the Red Sox looking to hang on to a 4-3 lead. The Tigers do have runners on first and second. The Dodgers and Mariners, not a lot to play for in this game, but the Dodgers, while they do have a 6-0 lead, Kershaw's day long done. Shohei Ohtani hitting his 55th home run of the season in that game, which is a new career high for him and a new single season record for the Dodgers. Of course, he broke his own record at 54, which he set just last season. Other scores going around Major League Baseball. It'll take extras to resolve Twins-Phillies. That game is tied at 1 in the top of the 10th inning. Ghost runner time there, runner on second with 2 outs. The Astros, who were eliminated last night, are leading the Angels 6-1. The Braves are leading the Pirates 4-1. And other scores right now, of course, the Reds trying to hang on or trying to make the playoffs in the NL. They are currently trailing the Brewers 4-2, while the Mets trail the Marlins 4-0. Blue Jays baseball, as always, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Back to the action here at a rocking Rogers Center. With the call, here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. George Springer hits for the Blue Jays. Runner on third, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th, Brian Baker, a former Blue Jay, into the game. 11-4 in the bottom of the 7th. Toronto leads. Baker deals home. Swing and a miss by Springer. Looking to launch one into the stratosphere. He falls behind 0-1. Six outs away from winning the AL East are the Blue Jays. George Springer's 0-1. Down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Straw on third. Infield back shifted toward third base. 1-1. Outside, ball 2. Still 6/10 outs to get, but the Blue Jays trying to do something they've never done in franchise history, which is follow up a season where they finished last in their division with a season where they win their division. Next pitch is hit high, right center, pretty deep, low going back, at the wall, it is gone! George Springer to right, the Blue Jays up 13-4. What a team, what a year, what a game today. They're up by 9 on the Rays.
Blue Jays offense putting on a show now. About 43,000 and some change on their feet. They have been on their feet for the last half hour or so. What a ball game, and like you said, what a season.
Pitch to Andres Jimenez, hit back foul, 0-1. The fans don't want to sit down. They've seen 4 homers, 13 runs on 13 hits for the Blue Jays. This is a 5-run bottom of the 7th. 0-1. Hit deep down the left field line. Racing back Palacios into the corner, and it's off the base of the wall. Jimenez around first. He's into second with a double. Everything they touch is an extra base hit right now.
Andres Jimenez with a huge smile on his face standing at second base. Going the other way, missing a home run by about 5 feet down that left field line.
Jimenez handing off his equipment to Mark Budzinski. He's on second, 2 outs. Blue Jays up 13-4 on the Tampa Bay Rays. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. saunters on into the righty box. Baker set the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Beyond the magnitude of this game, some history from these 2 former teammates and AL East rivals the last several seasons, whether Baker was an Oriole or now a Ray. 1-0 pitch. Called a strike. Slider at the knees, make that a change rather. 1-1.
This place would absolutely explode if Vladimir Guerrero Jr. could hit a home run here.
How does it explode even more than it does?
Even more than it already has.
1-1. Vladdy with a big hack, fouls back 99. That's looking a lot more like Vladdy there. I know it's a foul ball, but it's 1-2. And I don't think anyone is going to paint the headlines with a 1-for-4 so far. But this is better than it was yesterday, no doubt. As the Blue Jays start to get ready for the postseason. Game 162 on the year. 1-2, swing and a miss. Strikes out on 99, elevated. That does it for the 7th. The Blue Jays score 5. 2-run homer by Barger, 2-run homer by Springer, and a Miles Straw RBI triple in the middle. 13-4 Blue Jays go into the 8th inning. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Swung on and missed, strike 3 and a no-hitter.
It's the perfect way to get caught up on all the night's biggest home runs and best performances.
And a high drive, deep right center.
It's the Round Trip Roundup on MLB Network Radio every night on Sirius XM Channel 89 and every morning on the Sirius XM app.
Ryder Cup moments on Sirius XM.
In 2023, the United States Ryder Cup team was riding high after a record-setting victory in Wisconsin 2 years prior. But in Rome, the script was flipped. Europe swept Friday morning, lost only one session, never trailed, and cruised to a 5-point victory.
Europe wins the Ryder Cup back here in Italy.
Listen to Ryder Cup Radio all week long on Channel 92 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
Enjoy the thrill of victory.
Oh, my goodness!
Or revel in the agony of your rival.
I don't know what to say.
With home and away broadcasts of every game on the Sirius XM app.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
With a chance to secure an AL East title today, the Blue Jays lead 13-4 as we resume action in the top of the 8th inning. Braden Fisher on the hill for the Blue Jays. Welcome back to Rogers Center. Fisher's pitch to Tristan Gray is high ball 1. This pitching change is brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Big hack and an elevated heater, 1-1.
Seems like Braden Fisher's been warming up for almost 2 hours down there in that bullpen.
He was up in the 3rd, 4th, and 6th, and now into the game in the 8th. 1-1. High ball 2. Defensive change for the Blue Jays as well after Barger clubbed his 21st homer of the year. His regular season is done. He has been lifted. Clement shifts from 2nd to 3rd. IKF in for Barger, and he plays 2nd. 2-1. Called strike. Get used to some of the moves that you're seeing right now. If things go the way the Blue Jays want them to, they'll be making a move very similar to that, and maybe the Lucas move into right. A good handful during the postseason. Of course, dependent on who starts. 2-2 pitch. Fouled off of his own leg by Gray. Kicks out his right leg. Hobbling at the edge of the dirt circle now. He walks onto the turf. Still 2-2. In the list of a million success stories for this Blue Jays team, we did not know what happened when you and I were in Dunedin, Chris, in February, March. Braden Fisher is right near the top of that as well. A rookie who was in big league camp for a time, but has pitched now 51 times to a 2.76 ERA. 2-2. Lifted out to center, charging forward. Varsho stops in place, backpedals, and makes a one-handed catch. 1 out.
Well, not only does he have good stuff, it's just the presence on the mound that I've really been just excited by. Even in this situation here, just because you're up by 9 runs doesn't mean it's a low intensity game, a low leverage game. This is a meaningful game. You have 43,000 people sitting on the edge of their seats, and it looks like it's February out there for Braden Fisher.
First pitch curveball called strike against Carson Williams, 0-1. John Schneider had said today that the push to get to this point in the season was really a 365-day process. You could say even more than that. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 0-2. Braden Fisher acquired last year after the Blue Jays had designated Kevin Biggio for assignment. In one of their more shrewd moves last year, they deal him to the Dodgers, get Fisher back. 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 13-4 for the Blue Jays. A win, and they win the AL East. 1 out, top of the 8th. The 1-2. Hit high, center field, not very deep. Varsho shuffles left. Makes another catch in this inning. 2 outs and 4 outs away from the AL East.
Just zero emotion on that mound out there from Braden Fisher. So fun to watch. Just so confident.
Big outings for the Blue Jays all year, despite his lack of major league experience and that he's in his early to mid-20s. Right-hander to Bob Seymour. Called strike. Fisher, born in 2001, only 24 years old. Pitching in one of the biggest games of the last 10 years in Blue Jays history. 0-1. High, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And I know you don't love when I mention this, but this dude is 7-0 in his rookie season out of the bullpen.
It's better than being 0-7, I'll tell you that.
It's just fun to say.
1-1. High, 2-1. Sellout crowd waiting to explode again. 2 outs, bases empty, top of the 8th. The pitch. Lifted down the right field line. Hooking toward foul territory. Vladdy going back. Pulls up on the warning track and it falls into club 328. Just over the netting. Down the right field line, foul. Well, Vlad greets a couple of fans and turns back to the field. It's 2-2. Fisher tucks his right hand into his glove. 2-2 count, 2 outs. He rocks and deals. And it's called strike 3 to end the top of the 8th. 3 outs away from an AL East title. The Blue Jays up 13-4 on the Tampa Bay Rays. Middle of the 8th inning. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball. Brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Wake me up when we make the playoffs.
Wake up, Canada. We made it.
At Endy, we know greatness starts with a great rest. That's the beauty of sleep. It fuels focus and sharpens performance. It's how Endy helps all Canadians rise to shine. Endy mattresses are proudly made in Canada. And right now, take $150 off for a limited time. Shop now at Endy.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Drywall, an essential part of many, many projects. It's important to get it right and start with quality materials. Essentials you'll always find competitively priced at Timber Mart, like CGC, a recognized giant in the drywall industry for over 100 years and leading Canadian manufacturer of gypsum drywall. Well established and reputable, building pros and contractors know CGC, and you get exactly what the best builders trust. That's as sexy as drywall gets. Timber Mart, Canada's building center.
Bingo!
Great games, good friends, and giving back. That's what charitable gaming's all about. At a charitable bingo and gaming center, your gameplay has a real-world impact on thousands of Ontario charities supporting causes such as counseling services, youth sports programs, and healthcare. So come and enjoy a wide variety of games. And remember, when you play, local charities win. See how we play. Visit charitablegaming.ca. Please play responsibly.
Charitable gaming, community good.
Mami, tú solo escribes. Hola, soy Andrés Jiménez y estás escuchando el béisbol de los Toronto Blue Jays en la cadena de Radio Sportnet. Mami, tú solo escribes.
Bottom of the 8th, 13-4 Blue Jays in the first pitch of the 8th inning. Hit high and deep, Nathan Lucas. Out to left field, back to the wall, it's off the fence. Lucas around first, he'll head in a second. Well, welcome back into Rogers Center where the Blue Jays lead 13-4 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Their 15th hit of the game. We just saw on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, the Yankees have defeated the Orioles 3-2. So the Blue Jays need to win this game, and if they do, they'll win the American League East. Again, a 13-4 advantage. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Pitch to Dalton Varsho from Brian Baker is 97 on the inside edge. Called strike. Second inning of work for Baker. His 0-1. High, 1 ball, and 1 strike. Blue Jays getting ready for the 9th inning. Warming up in left field, Eric Lauer. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Big hack from Varsho's had a nice day. He's 2 for 4 in the game. 2 singles, 2 runs scored. But right now down 1-2.
I love that Eric Lauer could potentially finish out this ball game.
A guy who's done everything this team has asked him and more. 1-2. High and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lauer reporting to camp soon after the birth of his child in February. Bumping in and out of the rotation and bullpen as needed. 2-2. Varsho rips it and he hooks it foul right side into the seats. Still 2-2. A guy whose career in Eric Lauer looked like it might be on the outs when he struggled with injuries, went overseas and struggled, but he's found a footing back in the big leagues this year. 2-2. Varsho takes outside, ball 3.
It's almost impossible to go overseas, go to Japan, go to Korea, struggle in Japan or Korea, and come back and be a good big leaguer. And Eric Lauer has done that.
Blue Jays trying to give him now an even bigger cushion. 3-2 fouled back. Still 3-2. Yankees have gone final on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard at 3-2. Again, they won. So the Blue Jays have to finish this off, leading 13-4. Bottom of the 8th. Runner on second and no outs. The pitch to Varsho is lifted, foul right side. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes. And it's been a team effort today. Every starter has been on for the Blue Jays and most of the subs. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Varsho goes down and there's 1 out. One more rousing applause for the man of the day. Alejandro Kirk comes up for the Blue Jays. 6 RBIs spread across his 2 home runs, a grand slam in the first, and a 2-run shot in the 5th. Runner on second, 1 out. Baker's pitch to Kirk. Low ball 1. Kirk had a curtain call earlier in this game. Does he have the hat trick in him? 1-0. High, no, called a strike. It's 1-1.
Are those MVP chants, Ben?
MVP of this game? 1-1. Outside, 2-1.
It does seem like he's turned a corner. He's put together pretty good at-bats over the last 48 hours.
His last 5 at-bats feature 3 homers and a double. Also a pop-up to short. 2-1. Called strike. Middle of the zone there with a changeup. It's 2-2. Lucas still on second. 1 out. And a 13-4 lead for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 8th. Baker sets. The kick and the 2-2. Spoiled away foul to the right. On deck for the Blue Jays is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Has not hit yet in this game. First the 2-2 to Kirk. Fouled off again. Like you said, maybe turned a corner. Getting back to these Alejandro Kirk tough at-bats. Even though that's a bit of a mistake, he got a good piece of it on the foul off.
He's just really tough to strike out. I mean, and that's what he's looked like over the last 48 hours. Just a guy that is impossible to strike out.
2-2. Foul tip, strike 3, 98 on the outer third from Brian Baker. 2 outs, and they will still applaud. Alejandro Kirk coming off the field. an appreciation of him saving one of his best ever, maybe his best ever performance for the perfect time. Kirk back into the dugout. He's 3 for 5, 2 homers and a double. Here's IKF. The pitch in the dirt, ball 1. IKF knows this feeling, has won the division with the New York Yankees. Now he's back with the Blue Jays, trying to knock off the Yankees and take the AL East. 1-0 pitch. Fouled back, 1-1. Nathan Lucas still on second. He doubled to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. At the plate, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa with 2 outs. Open stance for the bearded right-handed hitter. Rests the bat on his right shoulder and pops it off high in the air. The 1-1. Grounder foul. High bouncer down the third baseline. 2 hops it into the side netting. 1-2. Eric Lauer still warming up, presumably for the 9th. The 1-2. On the ground, a high chopper to short. Charging Williams, gloves high, throws high, and Seymour brings it in to end the 8th inning. We go to the 9th. The Blue Jays 3 outs away from an AL East title. It's 13-4 for Toronto. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hey, it's Taylor, and we're celebrating a brand new era.
Are you ready for it? I can do it with a broken heart.
Welcome to the life of a showgirl on my channel.
Now for a limited time.
You got that James Dean look in your eyes.
Taylor's Channel 13 on Sirius XM.
Nice.
At home with the Sirius XM app on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
And baby, that's show business for you.
Baseball is back. It's former general manager Jim Duquette, and every Sunday on the front office, we have you covered on everything happening across Major League Baseball.
That's right, Duke. It's former big league GM Jim Bowden. Injuries, extensions, promotions, demotions, and trades. We'll have you covered on all the news.
We'll bring you the front office perspective as the season heats up.
Front office with Jim Duquette and Jim Bowden, Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89, and on the Sirius XM app.
Hey there, baseball fans. Conan O'Brien here to let you know that every Monday you can check out a new episode of my podcast, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. Each week, listen as I'm joined by some of the people I enjoy most. Perhaps we find some real friendships. Usually not. They don't stick around long. But we have a blast here. I play some of my favorite moments from my many decades in late night, my podcast, and a bunch of other great shows. That's Conan O'Brien Radio, Channel 104, here on Sirius XM.
Blue Jays fans, after this game, get back to what's really important. Your fantasy football team. We're talking about it right now on Fantasy Sports Radio, Channel 87, and the Sirius XM app.
That Radio Network.
It's the 9th inning, brought to you by Shell V-Power Nitro Plus. Want more from your vehicle? Try Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline, fueling every drive with a fuel like no other. It's right in front of the Blue Jays. 13-4 they lead. Top of the 9th, 3 outs away from a 7th AL East title in club history. Eric Lauer on the hill for the Blue Jays. Leading off is Richie Palacios for the Rays. The pitch. Inside, ball 1. This pitching change is brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. 1-0 pitch. High, 2-0. Blue Jays looking for a 94th win of the year to win the AL East and the American League overall. 2-0 pitch. Up and in, ball 3.
Eric Lauer actually keeps looking at his finger. That last fastball was nowhere near the strike zone, well above it. And as soon as Alejandro Kirk caught that baseball, he looked down at his finger. Hopefully it's just nothing.
Not traditionally used in the 9th inning here, but the Blue Jays giving Lauer the opportunity to be the guy to help them to the division title. His 3-0. Over the middle for a strike, 3-1. Yankees already won. Blue Jays have to win to take the division. Lauer winds. Left on left, the 3-1. In there again, 92 on the inside edge. Eric Lauer has fought back to a full count. Lauer stretches his arms. Steps to his right. The kick and the 3-2. Swing and a miss. One down in the top of the 9th inning.
How about that last fastball? Just blows it right by Palacios. What a pitch. Falls behind 3-0. Fights back. Strikes him out for the first out of the inning. What a pitch.
Blue Jays bullpen has been impeccable in this game. Eric Lauer now looks at Junior Caminero. Lefty's pitch. In the dirt, ball 1. Discarded to the left by Alejandro Kirk. Should the Blue Jays hold on, their 94 wins would be the most since 1993 when they won 95. The 1-0 pitch. Called strike on the outside edge with a backdoor cutter. 13-4 they lead. 1 out. Bases empty. Top of the 9th. Blue Jays on the precipice of the division title. 1-1. Lifted to right center. Varsho sprinting forward. He'll pull up and make the catch. 1 out away. Fans to their feet. Over 42,000 rise at Rogers Center. Jonathan Aranda, the hitter for the Rays, and Lauer will ask for a new baseball. 1985, the first time the Blue Jays won a division, nearly made a run to the World Series. Then a great stretch from 89 to 93, winning it all but once. First pitch to Aranda, hooked on the ground to first. Vladdy has it, throws to Lauer, he steps on the bag, and they've won the division. From last to first, the Blue Jays are the AL East champs in 2025. It's been 10 long years, but they sit atop this tough division again, and Eric Lauer is mobbed in the middle of the field at Rogers Center.
Ben, it wasn't always easy. There were a lot of ups and downs over the course of this season, but the Blue Jays ultimately came out on top. And today they did what they did best. They put together good at-bats. They got mistakes, and they took advantage of those mistakes.
13-4, they win it. And again, a combined effort, a team effort, grinded at-bats. The guy who produced the most today was hitting 6th in the lineup. They got contributions like a home run and double from the 7-hitter. The 8 and 9 hitters got involved with great contributions from the top as well. Not to mention, Kevin Gausman has an off day, so the bullpen comes in. And just the strength of the 26 or 28 men on this roster is shown to prevail over big individual talent from other sides.
Yeah, and the way the Blue Jays won today was how they've won really for the majority of this season. Yes, they have stars on this roster, but a lot of the guys that have performed well this season are not stars. You might know their names now, but I bet in February you didn't. And that's really how they've come out on top. And it's just been fun to watch. It was fun to watch today. Yes, it was shaky at times. Kevin Gausman did not have his best stuff, didn't have his best location. But they came out on top, and that's really all that matters.
No one has left their seat as high fives and hugs take place in the middle of the field. A couple Rays have stuck around to watch the Blue Jays celebration. A team that finished last with 74 wins in 2024 jumped up 20 wins in 2025 to go 94-68 and become the 7th Blue Jays team to win the AL East in franchise history.
There you go. Blue Jays fans, baseball fans, thank you for hanging out with us. Our Blue Jays are AL East champs, and we've got the bye. Heading in to the playoffs. It's going to be exciting. October baseball, there's nothing like it. That and the Leafs starting their season, even though it was kind of ugly last night. But that doesn't matter. The Blue Jays get it done. Big shout out to everybody here in the chat. We love it. Thank you for hanging out with us. Carmen, the Blue Jays did it. First place, AL East. I love it. The power of art. What's up? Joffrey, my man. How you doing? Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. Man, what a day from Alejandro Kirk. I said it last night. I said it in the chat about an hour ago. I got mad sun out there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, I get sunburned vacuuming out the pool and trying to get it cleaned out before we close it. But, oh man, good to see you, Joffrey. The Blue Jays, what a day from Alejandro Kirk. September 28th will forever be known as Alejandro Kirk Day, the day he led the Toronto Blue Jays to their 7th AL East title. Absolutely beautiful today. I love it. We've got Joffrey in the chat, Stefan, Carmen, Byrne, Lightning. Thank you for hanging out with us, Lightning. Raw truth. I hope the Yankees lose in the wild card. I'm right there with you. I hope the Yankees lose in the wild card, but that would mean I think the Red Sox is who they would face, would put the Red Sox through to the Jays. But again, I would probably rather face the Red Sox than the Yankees. I got to take a look at all the other scores here as Texas and Cleveland are in the 10th inning right now. That looks like a, let's see, yep, 5-5 in the 10th. Obviously, the Rangers are out, but the Guardians in the Central, Detroit and Boston is final. The Yankees and Baltimore 3-2. The Yankees win. I figured they would win out. Our Jays had to get it done, and they did. 13-4. A lot of fun today. Alejandro Kirk, what a grand slam to get us started. Everybody was getting a little nervous there after Gausman gave up the run in the first inning, but then it was no issues at all after that. Once Alejandro Kirk hit the grand slam and the bats just kept on going. Vladdy 1 for 5 today, got himself an RBI. George Springer, stand up, Mr. Bringing his bat to work for the last month and a half or so. Beautiful, beautiful game today. 3 of 4 at the plate, and my God, the RBIs and the runs, just awesome. There you go, everybody talking about football as well. We've got Sunday football going. The Bills got it done today over the Saints, 3-0. And then we've got the Bears going right now. That game is on upstairs. My daughter loves the Bears. So we got that one on. There you go. Crochet will win one. Power of Art says about Boston. Yes, I agree. Crochet is on. That guy was a hell of a pitcher, man, when he shut down the Blue Jays last time out. So the Jays better get their A game on for whoever they face, because it's going to be stiff competition for sure. So we appreciate everybody hanging out with us today. What a day it was. The Blue Jays, they get it done. They find a way, even in the beginning of the season, down in last place of the division. It looked like another lost season for the Blue Jays, but it was not. The Jays pulled their way all the way back to first place, and it looked like they were going to wrap up this division a lot earlier than they did. I'm actually surprised it came down to the last day, as I'm sure a lot of you are as well. Steven Asselin, thank you, sir. Great job, Mike. I appreciate that. And, hey, we're going to be back here for the playoff games and the Leafs games. So make sure to check out our Sons of a Pitch soccer content with the Manchester United Lives and EAFC 26 content with SOP True. But man, go Blue Jays, go. Let's go get a World Series title, shall we? Knock on some wood here, whatever it may be. But let's go Blue Jays. We'll see you guys on the next one. Man, it's a lot of fun. Missed you guys. We'll see you really soon. I'll let the post-game run for a few more minutes here so we can chat it up a little bit longer, and then we'll head on out of here, and we'll see you guys game 1 of the Blue Jays first series, the division series, with that bye. Love it. We are the champs, says Joffrey. Yes, and go Packers go, says Stefan. See you guys.
Here, can I just bring out a guy who has been, in my opinion, and opinion of many Blue Jays fans, the most valuable player for you, George Springer. Come on out, George. Is he being shy?
Georgie, don't be shy, man. You've been out here more than me. Come on.
We need to help. We need your help to bring George out, everybody. All right, he's being a little shy right now. I know someone else, the face of this franchise, when he's not where he wants to be at the plate, he's doing everything else, playing great defense, busting it down the line. Can we all say hello to Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? Okay, I know these guys are just dying for some champagne. Yeah. So with Kirky here and with all the teammates out here, oh, here we go.
Shocker, shocker, tarp off, baby.
Oh, George. George has the tarp off for the post-game interview. Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
George, you've been fortunate enough to take part in a lot of postseason celebrations. To do this in what was the best season for you in a Toronto Blue Jay uniform means what?
Fucking everything. Man, I love this team. I love these boys. We wouldn't be here without everybody here today, everybody who's watching. So thank you for all your support and making this place so fun to play at.
Before I let you go, you told me if you won the division that you would be on a policeman's horse up and down Bremner Avenue with the tarp off and the shirt flinging. Is that still the plan?
Tarp off, police horses ready. Here we fucking go.
All right. Congratulations to John Schneider and the American League East Division Toronto Blue Jays. Enjoy, guys. Back to you.
We will see you on Saturday. Let's go. Thank you for everything.
That is John Schneider, Sportsnet's Hazel May, George Springer, Alejandro Kirk, and more. The Blue Jays win it 13-4 today. They win the AL East. We are going to take a step aside. We'll wrap it up. We know you want to hear from the guys. We'll get you over to Blair and Parker momentarily. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Protect your waste and recycling equipment from costly repairs. With a custom maintenance plan, optimize your waste system performance and longevity with Metro Compactor Service. They've got you covered coast to coast with the largest service fleet in Canada. Their innovative iSmart technology can remotely diagnose, troubleshoot, and monitor equipment health in real time. For on-demand or proactive service, sales, rentals, and extended warranties for all your waste equipment, visit metrocompactor.com. metrocompactor.com.
Hey, you! Let's talk about what's catching everyone else's eye. Could it be your faucet that drips all night long? Or your toilet that never seems to flush right the first time? Help is always within reach at Home Hardware. Get everything you need and turn those side eyes into second looks at the Bring Beautytone Home Reno sale. Save 20% on select Moen faucets and save 10% on American Standard toilets. Earn and redeem Scene Plus points at the Bring Beautytone Home Reno sale. On now until October 22nd. Only at Home Hardware and Building Centers. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian.
Your business runs 24/7, but what happens when your loading dock grinds to a halt? Get back in business fast with Bagley Overhead Doors and Docks. Your overhead door problem is our problem, and we're good at fixing problems. Repairing your overhead door, dock, or have truck restraints that require service? No problem. We also offer preventative maintenance inspections to eliminate the chaos and expense of unplanned emergencies. Bagley Overhead Doors and Docks, trusted for over 60 years. Visit BagleyOverheadDoors.com today.
How do we craft tires specifically designed for Canadian weather conditions? We journey alongside them and endure the unexpected challenges the road throws at them. Winter is approaching quickly. Are you prepared? Choose Yokohama. Tailored precisely for Canadian weather, snow, ice, and cold can turn every drive into a challenge. Stay safe with the Yokohama Fall Rebate. Until November 30th, receive up to $100 back when you purchase 4 eligible Yokohama tires. Stay in control and drive with confidence. Choose Yokohama, made precisely for you.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Roddy rocks the ball to left field. The Blue Jays have gone back-to-back.
Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to the home of the AL East champs. The Blue Jays take home the American League East Division with a gutsy 13-4 win over the Rays, weathering a big storm early to beat Tampa Bay. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Thank you so much for sticking with us at Rogers Center. Blue Jays needed some runs early and needed some runs in the middle with a big onslaught today. Let's get into it right away. Player of the game for the Blue Jays in this one, there's no doubt about it, Alejandro Kirk. And another 2-2. Slam to left field. Going back, Palacios. Out of here. Alejandro Kirk with a grand slam, and the Blue Jays lead 5-1 in the first. Perhaps the biggest swing of Alejandro Kirk's life, and the Blue Jays score 5 in the first inning. 2-2. Kirk lifts it, center field, Mangum back, at the track, at the wall. See you later, Alejandro Kirk. Two-run homer, and the Blue Jays spill out of the dugout. They're leading 8-4 in the fifth. My goodness, Alejandro Kirk with the game of his life.
We've talked about it at length over the last 3 or 4 weeks during Alejandro Kirk's struggles. For the majority of this season, he was going the other way. He was a tough out with 2 strikes. And it just seemed like he got away from that. It seems like he's found it again, though. Today was incredible. He put up a fight with 2 strikes. He was fouling off tough pitches. And then eventually he got his mistakes, and he did not miss. What a game from him. What a game from this team. What a season. I'm so proud that I was a small part of it.
Blue Jays had lost 6 of 7, and yet they rattle off a 4-game win streak. 1 over the Red Sox and 3 against the Rays. They swept the Rays for the first time in 10 years, had not swept them since September 2015, and they do that to win their first division since 2015. It's the 7th division title in Blue Jays history, the 3rd time ever they outright hold the best record in the American League, and the 4th time, if you include a tie, in 1992. Their most wins since 1993, and they do this all off the back of a last place year in 2024 with very little changes to the overall roster. It was a crazy end to what's been an incredible regular season as the Blue Jays defeat the Rays 13-4. And the best thing about it, More baseball coming up next weekend. The ALDS, the Blue Jays will be in it for the first time since 2016. That starts on Saturday, but this one, 13-4 the final. The Blue Jays scored 13 on 15 hits. Mason Fluharty with the win, and 42,000 fans, many of them still here half an hour after the game, watching the team celebrate on the big screen as the Blue Jays have taken the division. Thank you so much for tuning in this season. Really appreciate it, whether you were in for 1 or 162 games. It's been amazing. We'll be back with more game coverage coming up on Saturday. But for now, to break it down and recap what's been an incredible year, we got to hand it off. So for our technical directors, Christian Tiniti and Tom Young, our producer, Nick Blackmore, our host, Joe Ali, and my partner, Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Have a great rest of your weekend, and a division-winning edition of Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Barker starts right now.
Well, you know, Kevin, there's an old saying, cometh the hour, cometh the man, and wow, Alejandro Kirk was definitely the man today. Blue Jays, they are AL East champions. They'll let the Boston Red Sox and New York Yankees kick the hell out.
All right, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's all over. The Blue Jays, AL East champs 2025. AL East division winners. Absolutely beautiful. 13-4. The Bats woke up today after going down 1-0 early. And the rest is history. Alejandro Kirk, what a day. Great to see you, Joffrey. Great to see everybody here in the chat. See you, the Burninator. Sonia, have a great night. Thanks for being here. Stefan, much love, man. Appreciate you. And all right, let's get out of here. We'll see you on Saturday for Game 1 of the ALDS, and we'll see you Thursday night for the Blue Jays, the Maple Leafs, and the Red Wings. And I believe there's a Manchester United game next Saturday as well. So it'll be a doubleheader on Saturday. Manchester United and the Blue Jays. All right. I love it. Go Jays, go. Thank you for being here. Cheers. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll talk to you soon.